won't be having any issue. So that the class will not go beyond 4:30. Okay, so that you can have the half an hour break and then you can attend the 5 o'clock session. Okay, students. So let me start the class. Okay, so good afternoon to all the students. Okay, those who are wishing good afternoon, students, and to everyone. Okay, now let's start the class. So yesterday we have stopped up to these students. Okay, let me start from here. So these are the slides which we have completed on yesterday. Okay, so we completed up to this slide. Okay, and then here the last thing is pending. Okay, let's finish that and then let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, now we got the last one. So this we have completed yesterday. So when a person moves from one job to another job, cyclical according to the stages of economic cycle, seasonal according to the seasonality, seasonal variations. Next one, when a person works below his potential or qualification. Next one, here the person is employed, but the job which could be done by less number of people is done by more number of people. Okay, that we called as disguise. Voluntary means the people, those who are eligible, but they are not willing to go for a job. It's called a voluntary. Now, what is meant by natural unemployment means? This is an economic concept. According to natural unemployment, what the economists are saying is, for example, if we take an example of a developed economy, okay, so what maybe our thought is, we think that the developed economies are developed to such an extent that they won't be having any unemployment. Or else when you compare this with our economy, we think that our economy is a developing one. So when we become a developed economy, we also won't be having the problem of unemployment. Like that, if you think that, if we do a comparison with the other developed economies like US economy or UK economy or Germany or France, any country, in all those countries, we are having a certain level of unemployment. So what is understanding? These countries are developed countries, but even after developing, they have the certain level of unemployment. So what is the economic concept? Poverty can be eliminated. Poverty can be eliminated in economy, but unemployment cannot be eliminated. Unemployment can be kept at the lowermost level. So it can be kept at the lowermost, okay, very lower level it can be kept, but it cannot be made as a zero. But poverty can be made as zero, because poverty means it is the lack of income to meet the basic needs. It is a minimum income. We can ensure that the person gets a minimum income. But unemployment is quite normal to the economy, because an economy means economy will be having cycle. There will be cyclical downturns in the economy. There will be occurrence of slowdown. We cannot stop the slowdown. There may be occurrence of stagnation. When these things happens alongside with the seasonal variation, so there will be certain level of unemployment, which means unemployment cannot be kept to zero, but it can be kept at the lowermost level, 0.001 or 0.0001. And then one more thing is, these people, this minimum percentage, those who are unemployed, can be secured. Their economic interest can be secured by transferring a certain level of income to those people during those times. So we can secure the economic interest, we can secure them socially, but we cannot keep the numbers at zero, because this is economic concept. What is economic concept? Economy means economy is subjected to cyclical variation. Economy will be having seasonality. These things, you could not have any complete control over these aspects in the economy. So according to economic concept, we'll be having unemployment, but it can be kept at the lowermost level, very, very negligible level, but not at zero. This concept is called as natural. So what is the definition? The minimum level of unemployment, which cannot be eliminated from an economy, even during its full efficiency, is called as natural unemployment. Now you can write the definition. The minimum level of unemployment, the minimum level of unemployment, which cannot be eliminated from an economy, stopped at unemployment. Yes, thank you, students, for all your messages and guiding me where we have stopped on yesterday. Okay, thank you. So the minimum level of unemployment, which cannot be eliminated from an economy, The minimum level of unemployment which cannot be eliminated from an economy even during its full efficiency. Even during its full efficiency is known as natural unemployment. Is known as natural unemployment. But this can be kept at the lowermost levels. But this can be kept at its lowermost levels with the efforts of government. But this can be kept at its lowermost levels with the efforts of government. Okay, so this can be kept at the lowermost levels. Next point. The main reason for natural unemployment. You can simply write natural unemployment. UE like that. The main reason for natural unemployment is due to cyclical and seasonal changes in an economy. The main factors responsible, or the main reasons responsible for this natural unemployment is due to cyclical and seasonal changes. Okay, students, let's get to the next thing. Okay, and then one more thing, students, because yesterday, because I was not able to tell this, because yesterday I thought that because of I'm taking combined class, so I thought one batch I think you are not having class, second session you are not having, but other batch you are having class, second session, okay, which I came to know only after 5 or 5:15. That's why I took the extra time, because other batch, those who had extra class, definitely they would have suffered because of me, okay, because I looked at the timetable, because one batch there is no second session, okay, so excuse me for that, okay, that's my mistake, okay, so I like to convey this to you, okay. So now let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so next one. So this is the unemployment data. And we know that, okay, so unemployment data is released by, so now this name is not NSSO, it is NSO. Okay, so they release the unemployment data, they go to the field, they take the data, but here the data means, don't think that they take the unemployment for the entire population. So that's not the method what we are following. So the thing is, okay, they, for example, from all the organized network, we are able to take the complete data from the institutions. So from the PF giving companies, we can easily take the data in the formal way. But other people and all, what the people do is they take some sample population, they go, for example, the sample population around approximately 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs, okay, in that value only, from all the states, okay, from all dimensions, okay, all sectors, all participants, all categories, in that angle only we provide unemployment. So our unemployment data is not like census. Census is the exact one, but unemployment, okay, but when you take unemployment during census, so it will be more appropriate during that particular time period, okay, but apart from that, it is the sampling what we are doing, okay. So based on that, so we were having the body called as NSSO during early days. Now this NSSO has become as NSO. So this is the data released by them during last year, and during last year the data was mentioned for 1890. Now by looking at the data, you may be stunned, sir, now we are in 2021, okay. So you should have tell me data about the 2020 at least, okay, because that is the lag what we have in our unemployment data. And apart from that, we have one more body called the CMIE. In the paper, you may would have come across, or recently this week, okay, regularly, okay, in the news it's coming, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. They release the data in the weekly manner. May first week, what is unemployment? Second week, unemployment. Third week, fourth week, okay, like that. They proceed with the weekly unemployment data. But government side, government is releasing the data once in a year, okay. This is the yearly report, okay, because weekly report keep on changing. So this we cannot give more importance. But here I have given the unemployment data for India for the 1 year data, 1 year 18-19. Okay, you can have a look at the data. Just it's a number 6.1 in 17.8. This is not about the pandemic data. Okay, pandemic numbers will be very huge, because you know that, okay, in the papers yesterday and the last 1 week, okay, they're debating in the news about the spike in the rate of unemployment. Many places gone up to the level of 14%, 14.5, okay, and many people, they are losing jobs in lakhs in the formal sector. So like that they're discussing, okay, that you'll understand, read the paper. So this is about the comprehensive unemployment data for 1 year released by NSO. You can just copy the data. This data for you in idea I'm telling. When you read the paper, automatically you'll come to know about the data or current affairs. Okay, thank you students for your message. Okay, thank you everyone. Can you repeat the full form of CMI? Yes, it's given next slide students. Okay, so PLFS means periodic labor force survey. It is the annual unemployment data. Okay, that's how the data is called. The data which is released by NSO. They call it as a periodic labor force. That is the annual unemployment data. Annual unemployment data released by NSO. What is meant by annual unemployment data means here, look at the point. Okay. Here, if you know that year has got 365 days. So here, how we will consider a person to be unemployed means, for example, a person, maybe one person, when you take the data, he may be employed for 120 number of days. We may have one more person who might be employed for 140 days during last year. And other permanent employees, you know that they have off only on Sunday and even Saturday, some offices, Saturday, Sunday holiday. So 52 days into 2 means, excluding 104, they would have worked for 260 days. You may be able to get the point. 52 weeks into 2. So 104 minus 365, almost approximately 361, 261 days, they may be working in organized sector. But the unorganized people, one person maybe would have worked for 120. Another person, if I ask him how many days you were working during last year, he may give the answer 140. Another person 170. Another person 180. Another person 200. Another person 210, 220. Another person 300 days. So these are different numbers what they are saying. Now my question is, among this person, whom I will consider as employed, because he is also employed. He is also employed. One more person is employed only for 70 days. He is also employed. So what is the criteria followed by the government? So in periodic labor force survey, what is the criteria followed by the government is, they consider the majority days of employment. What is the meaning of that meaning of the term majority days means, you know that anything which is called as majority means more than 50%. So 365, 50% means 365 by 2, it comes around 182.5. So 182.5 is the half of 365. So this is 50%. More than 50 means more than 183 number of days. So when a person has worked for 183 days during the period of assessment, then only the person is considered to be employed. So in the example, this person is considered to be unemployed. This person is considered to be unemployed. This person considered to be unemployed. This person unemployed. This person is unemployed. Only this person we take them as employed. So based on this, we are given the data. So we follow different approaches, but this is an annual approach. This is the approach what we follow. But when we take the data for week, no, because sometimes you may come across a weekly unemployment data. So in that, what is the method we follow is, a person who worked even for 1 hour in a week, he is considered to be employed. Look at the change in the methodology. For example, if they are asking me, I'm saying, yes, I did work for 1 hour. 1 hour only I got work there, but I'll be considered employed. Even if I even the 1 hour work, if I didn't get, then I'll be considered to be unemployed. So that is the different method. There is one more method called as a daily status, but we are not following daily. Daily is the exact one. Daily, what they will do means, a person will be considered as employed only when he works for 8 hours. 8 hours means 1 day employment. 4 hours means half day employment. For example, here 16 hours, not 16 hours. First day 8 hours. Okay, tick. Second day only 4 hours, half day. Third day only 3 hours. 3 hours means nil. Third day is unemployed. Like that, what they will do means 1, then half day, 1.5 day, and then 2.5 day, 3.5 day. For example, for one person, 4.5 days. Another person, 5.5 days in a week. Another person, 1 day. So when you calculate how much is the value, 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 2 hours, okay, 10, 11. So this is called as 11 days for 2 people. 11 days of employment. So in the paper, they will be saying 1 lakh days of employment, 1 million days of employment, 2 million days of employment. So when they are pitching in terms of days of employment, we are calculating all the days. Able to get the point. So these are different things what you can connect when you are reading something in the paper. But in this method, we take the yearly method. Yearly method means what we do means, a person is considered to be employed when he is employed for majority number of days in a year. That's all. Majority means more than 50. Okay, so this is a annual method or yearly method in which a person is considered to be employed when he is found to be working for majority number of days. So the work is majority days. Majority means 365 is a number of days in a year by 2. It is around 182.5. So more than 50. 183 days. So when a person is found to be even working for 182, he is considered to be unemployed in this method. Okay. So, but this is sampling. We don't take data for all the population. So, because we got many obstacles in generating the data. And then Ramesh has asked, does NSO use entire population in denominator? Okay, no. Okay, this is our entire means then unemployment rate will be very heavy. No, if I am taking the unemployment within the particular population of 1 lakh, then applying for the entire population, then it will be a huge unemployment. For example, so from the population, what I am taking, okay, from the population, what is the labor force? From 1 lakh sample I am doing means from 1 lakh sample, what is the labor force? From the labor force, the people, those who are unemployed by labor force. From the population, what we take is the total population. From the population, the people, those who are eligible is called as eligible population. From the eligible, the people, those who are willing is called as labor force. From the labor, the people, those who are unemployed is called as unemployed. That you compare with the yesterday's notes. Okay. So this is about the data, students. Now, for understanding, I have told you that there are other methods like weekly. Weekly, you can just, you can bracket, you can write. You can put a box, you can write like this. For example, you can write in this way. Okay, so for your understanding, so that you'll get some interpretation when you just look at the newspaper. So what does that means? For example, you can write like this. In weekly, what we do is weekly. Here, employed means at least 1 hour. At least 1 hour in a week is considered to be employed. Unemployed means not even 1 hour. Complete or வேலை இல்லாம இருந்தாதான் not even an hour. So when he is not employed even for 1 hour, then only is called as unemployed. This is for weekly. Then what is the thing what we have for the daily unemployment? So that is a daily status. We used to say the daily status. Daily status, for example, 8 hours is equal to 1 day employment. 4 hours is equal to half day. Less than 4 hours. Less than 4 hours, na unemployed. This one is the exact one, but it's very hard to take this data for unorganized people. For example, when you take Narega, from Narega data you can take, okay. But all the other things and all, okay, from all the unorganized network, it's very hard to find this data. So here we employ, because moreover, this data we don't take on the real-time basis. Sometimes we take the data, ask the people from the 1 month back how many days they were employed. So it's very practically difficult for them to recollect. Based on the memory, they are pitching the answer. So it is not. But now the CMIU, what they are doing, so they are trying to make it more recent. More recent means the recollection collection what the people is doing will be more relevant, more appropriate. So this for understanding, you can put it in a box. This is additional information what I'm telling you. Fine, students. Now let's move on to the next thing. Okay, now we can take the data, other data. So this you have copied, you all have copied. Next one is labor force participation. Labor, you know about what is the meaning of the word labor force? Labor force participation rate for women. Labor force means labor force by total eligible population. Okay. So labor force for women is improving. The slide says. So here, students, you need not burden your mind with these numbers. 21.7, 19.6, these numbers are not essential. But the numbers are given just to give you some picture, so that you can compare this number with the male labor force participation, and you can get some idea what is the range of labor force participation, which exactly you could understand only when you compare this data with the next slide. So you take the information from the slide, but not the data into your mind. Okay. So what the slide is conveying? So it is conveying that the women participation is marginally increasing. Actually, Prashant, for your doubt, labor, this data, no, so your question is more ambitious. So ambitious means you're saying, okay, whether we include the overseas, this and all, but here, even for the domestic people, we don't have the data. And moreover, logically, the thing is unemployment is the thing what we can do within our population. GDP we can do within territory, and then away from territory is called as a GNP. That is different metric. But unemployment means we can provide employment only when the person is residing within our country. When the person stays as NRI, okay, so then his unemployment cannot be ensured by the government of our country because he is not in our territory. So unemployment data, what we measure is the data what we take within the boundary, within the people, those who are residing within the country. National income perspective is different. But unemployment, I can give a job only when the people are living within my country. Then how I will measure for NRIs? Okay, that's illogical. Okay, don't be applicable. Okay. So this is the slide for labor force participation rate for women. Now for men, next one is men. But students, before writing, look at the point. For men, it is declining. But look at the value. For men, the labor force is 74. So which means more people are participating, but here the thing is, look at the difference. So this is the understanding what you should have. So not about the numbers will keep on changing, okay, but the understanding is look at the variation. So this is the point what you should write in the mains paper. So this is the understanding, this which may be asked the statements in the examination. Padmini, labor force participation rate is given by NSO, is given by CMIE. They give. CMIE, sometimes the Ministry of Labor, but earlier before 2015 or 16 financial year, the Ministry of Labor and Employment, they were also giving the data. So we used to get 2 reports. At the time, CMIE was not that much dominating the data. Okay, it just they made the entry. At the time, only NSO and then Ministry of Labor and Employment. Okay, this is from Ministry of Statistics. This is from Ministry of Labor and Employment. 2 reports we are getting in our economy. But after 15-16 or 16-17, okay. So then the Ministry of Labor, they have stopped. So now and then Ministry of Labor, sometimes they pitch the labor force participation rate also. So your question is, well, will NSO will give the labor force participation rate? Means not only NSO they provide, CMIE, student asked expansion for CMIE. Sorry, student. So CMIE, they also provide the data. Then Ministry of Labor, they also provide data. So answer to your question is 3. But now the Ministry of Labor is not providing, only NSO and CMI. What is the expansion for CMI is Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. Sorry, student, you asked me before 5 minutes back, I failed to expand. Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. This, when you read the paper, definitely you would have come across. No, it's a common name. Center for Monitoring, and even in the last 1 week, okay, frequently CMI is repeated and getting repeated in the paper. Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. Okay, so now we got labor force participation rate. What is the level? Fine. Thank you, Karthik. Helen, you are trying to say something? Previous slide. Previous slide. Okay. Sir. Oh, sorry. Okay. I understood. Okay. Men you have to copy, no? Okay, fine. Yes, thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Helen. So mains angle, students, you have to understand only 2 important the status of our economy. One is unemployment, one is labor force participation rate. questions will be asked only from the current affairs. Whatever you read in the paper, it will be asked in the examination. Then based on the other understanding, what you read about types of unemployment. So these things are the types of unemployment is the base based on which how we can look at the unemployment scenario. It is not about the type. Why we are getting unemployment means the types what you will learn will give you the picture. Cyclical is one of the reason. So the frictional is one of the reason. Seasonality is one of the reason. It is not about our job is not to learn about the types. Okay, applying the types and then understanding the picture of our economy. What are the different ways how we may have the unemployment? Okay, so this is about the labor force participation rate for men. With this, finishing the facts. Now we are going to have a look at the some of the major initiatives taken by the government, because in the mains questions will be asked only in this manner. What is unemployment rate, or how do you or else what do you mean by the term labor force participation rate, or they will ask what is meant by cyclical unemployment. Then okay, then explain the reasons for cyclical unemployment or any measures taken by the government, or simply what is unemployment, what are the reasons for unemployment, then what are the measures taken by the government. So you should be positioned to write some of the measures. Okay, so the measures answer you will get only from the paper or from economic survey. Whatever read in the current affairs will act as the base for your answers. Now I have given some of the schemes. Only the name of the schemes are there in the slide. Nothing is there. Okay, so your homework is you have to learn about the schemes. Now you can copy the schemes now. Employment generation programs. Okay. First one is Narega. You can write the older programs also. Okay, so whichever we have seen, no, so you can write the old, but you try to be the programs which are currently running. It will fetch you more mark. And then some years the rural unemployment will be higher. Sometimes urban unemployment, some years urban unemployment will be higher, because when there is a migration, reverse migration, sometimes where there is no proper opportunity in the rural area, so we are there, and then we'll be having more unemployment at the rural level. But the thing is sometimes, okay, so when the urban level, okay, when we have the when we are not able to provide more employment, sometimes okay, we'll be having more urban unemployment. So based on the economic growth, when the MSMEs are prospering, MSMEs normally they provide more opportunities in the urban area. When the MSMEs are struggling, sometimes the employment rate will be dropping, would have dropped in the urban area. Then rural area will be having comparatively higher figure. It depends upon the year to year. Okay, we don't have any standard. For example, we don't have any standard reasons that rural areas always will be giving more, having more employment or unemployment, or urban areas will be always having more unemployment. So it keep on fluctuating year after year. Okay, first one is Narega. Next one is PMEGP. Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. This we have learned in our MSME class. In MSME, Prime Minister Employment, which means the people, those who are coming forward to start the micro enterprises, will be provided financial support by the government, which in turn helps in converting the job seekers to job providers. Instead of making the people employees, government is trying to make them employers. So in that way, they will give job to 2 or 3 people. So country will also get more employment. Next one is NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Mission. So it is the program what we have to provide livelihood opportunity to the rural people. National Rural Livelihood Mission. So and then the main objective of the program is to organize the people into self-help groups. So I'm telling the online students, okay, so you try to do your homework, try to spend some 10 minutes at least in all the programs. National Rural Livelihood Mission. So as the image says, the main objective of the NRLM is to organize the people into groups, self-help groups, and then giving them loans and then ensuring their living standards. The opposite to the NRLM is called as NULM, National Urban Livelihood Mission. It's given in the next slide, National Urban Livelihood Mission. Okay. Yes. Okay. The student has asked, sir, in Narega, we have only 100 days of employment, so it won't be included. Yes, definitely. Okay. So that is the contradiction, because it is a government program, but it is the program which ensures the minimum employment. But even though it's employment, okay, data is taken, okay, the people those are employed under Narega will not be considered as employed, because it's but the thing is, two perspectives you have to remember. Thing is, when we take the yearly data, in yearly data, the people those who got employment in Narega, they will be considered as unemployed, provided they work only in Narega program. If they, for example, Narega 100 days I was employed, then apart from that I work for some other job, okay, then they'll be considered as employed. But Narega is the only source of employment, means they'll be considered as unemployed based on the Narega data. Narega provides 100 days of employment. But in weekly they'll be called as employed, because weekly 1 hour employment it should have been provided by Narega. So that is the thing. Yearly data, based on the yearly perspective, based on the yearly criteria, they are not eligible to be called as employed, because government is able to provide only 100 days of employment. Okay, that is the drawback what we have. Next one is the Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Protsahan Yojana. So what is the scheme is all about? This scheme is all about, because you know that when a company recruits a person as a permanent employee, then the company has to provide him PF, which you all may be aware of. So for the sake of avoiding the PF, the companies are reluctant, or they are not interested to appoint the people in the permanent way. Now the government says, don't worry, when you are recruiting any new employees, so if you feel that you got the burden of making the PF payment on the behalf of employee, don't worry, you need not pay on your behalf. On behalf of company, Government of India will pay the PF. So just for the sake of avoiding the PF, don't hesitate to employ the person in a permanent way. You can employ the person in a permanent way. Okay, that is the meaning of the scheme. Pradhan Mantri Protsahan Yojana. So look at the point here. Contribution for new employment. New, okay, not for the existing. When you are giving in a new jobs and in the permanent category, then you will be supported by the government through the PF contribution. Okay, and then Mudra already we have done this. Mudra is about the supporting the micro enterprises, so giving the funds to the micro enterprises under the loans called as a Shishu, Kishore and Tarun, so which in turn supports the micro enterprises. They in turn provide jobs to the people. Okay, so the unorganized sector, okay, they provide jobs to the unorganized sectors. Okay, it is a type of employment. Okay, we're supporting Mudra. It's not direct employment program. Mudra is not direct employment program. Okay, it is indirectly we are giving. And then Protsahan Yojana is also not direct employment, but indirectly, okay, it actually incentivizes the company to provide more job. Okay, so this is about some of the programs. Apart from this, when you read the paper and economic survey, then you will come across plenty of programs that you can write in the examination according to the need of the question. Okay, with this we are finishing, students. We are finishing, and then for this topic, how you have to prepare yourself for the examination is, kindly go through Yojana and then go through PIB or IAS Parliament compilation. Then you go through the following ministries. So this ministry is okay. Then PIB, in PIB you can go through the ministries announcements, any news, okay, labor, Ministry of MSME, human resource development, skill development. So all these you can have a look at them, look at these ministries, press announcements or any news. In PIB, you can go to PIB, you can click on the particular ministry, then you will come across the particular ministry's announcement during the particular month. So which will give you some input about the announcements made by this ministry with respect to employment or to address the unemployment. With this, we are finishing the pending part of yesterday's class. Unemployment gets over. Now we are going to start with the poverty. Okay, yesterday we have learned up to voluntary unemployment. Then today, after voluntary unemployment, we have learned what is meant by natural unemployment. Then we have gone through the unemployment report of India, report released by NSO, and then how the data is released. Normally the current yearly status, and then current weekly status, current daily status, how do we measure? Then about the labor force participation rate of India for men and women we have covered. Then we have covered about the unemployment schemes or programs announced by the government. Okay, these are the things which we have covered okay, till now in today's class. Now let's step into the next segment called as poverty. Okay, the next social sector, the next heading is poverty. What is poverty? We all know that poverty is an economic condition. For example, if a certain segment of the people, they will be living in a condition where they may not be having the minimum income. I'm not talking about the maximum income. They may be living without the minimum income, which means what is the meaning of the minimum income? The income which is essential to meet the basic needs of life. So what do we mean by the term basic needs? Means not about the wants, it's not about luxuries, basic needs, to have the minimum food, to have the minimum shelter. Okay, so what is the thing? Okay, the clothes, minimum shelter, the food, to buy those things, whether they have the money or not. When they have the money, they are said to be above the poverty line. When they are not able to make their income, they are said to be below the poverty line. So a government of a country, what they do is they calculate what is the minimum income which is essential to meet the basic needs. Like that, government will appoint committees. The committees will determine the minimum income. This minimum income, which is essential to meet the basic needs, this minimum income is called by the technical term called as poverty line. So what is the meaning of the word poverty line? Means poverty line is nothing but the minimum income required to meet the basic needs. So the people, those who are able to make above this poverty line, which means above this minimum income, they are called as APL of the country. The people, those who are not able to earn above this poverty line, we call these people as the BPL of our country, below poverty line. So these below poverty line people, they are said to be in the poverty condition. These people are living in the poverty. So what is meant by poverty? Poverty is an economic condition in which the people, they don't have the minimum income to secure the basic needs of life. So basic needs like the food and the cloth and the minimum shelter, they don't have the minimum income to buy the essential. Then we call these people as the people under the poverty. They are called as a below poverty line, and then the people as a above poverty line. These things we are going to learn in detail in the respective topic. Okay. Now kindly copy the definition for the term poverty. Lack of income to meet the basic needs of life. Lack of income to meet the basic needs of life. Lack of income to meet the basic needs of life is known as poverty. Okay. Then you can write the next line. Next line is poverty line. Next you can write as a poverty line. Next one is poverty line. Poverty line. What is meant by poverty line? It is the minimum income. It is the minimum income. Minimum income set by the government of country, government of a country, which is essential to meet the basic needs of life. Essential to meet the basic needs of life. Which is essential to meet the basic needs of life. It is the minimum income set by the government of a country which is essential to meet the basic needs of life. It is the minimum income set by the government of a country which is essential to meet the basic needs of life. Then you can write the term as APL. You can write APL. Then you can write the term as APL. APL means above poverty line. Expansion is above poverty line. APL means above poverty line. APL means above poverty line. So the people, those who are earning above the poverty line is called as APL. The people, those who are earning above the minimum income or above the poverty line. Next one is called as BPL. BPL, the people, those who are earning, below the minimum income, below the poverty line or below the minimum income. The people, those who are earning above, below the poverty line or below the minimum income. Below the minimum income is known as BPL. These BPL people, we call them as a poverty. But students understand the point very conceptually. BPL is all about the people, those who are not able to secure even the minimum income. So here, the economic society is a BPL is the poverty people. Then we have the low income group. Okay, then we have the lower middle income group. Then we have the the upper middle income group. Then we have the high income group. Like that, it goes on. These people alone, we call them as a poverty. Which means, okay, now let me tell this with the example. For example, the poverty line of a country is 1,000 rupee. Like for example, poverty line is 1,000 rupee. 1,000 rupees the poverty line means the people, those who are earning 999 rupee or lower than 1,000, only these people, they are called as a poverty. But the person who is earning 1,000 or the person earning just 1,001 rupee, 2 rupees extra. Okay, the person who is earning or 1 rupee excess, not 1 rupee, even 1,000 when you are earning, you'll be called as a above the poverty line. Okay, when you are reaching 1,000 or more than 1,000. So 2 rupees higher, then only here you are called as the above poverty line. There is not much difference. But you should not think that when the person is applying for a ration card or when a person is trying to avail the government benefits, government will not say no to these people, which means the person, people, those who are earning 1,000 or the people, those who are earning 2,000 rupee, even 3,000, these people are also entitled to receive the government benefits. So BPL is just a measurement what we do. We don't deny the benefits to these people above BPL, okay, 2,000, 3,000, this low income group and the lower middle income group, all the people government provides the minimum benefits. So you have to understand that we are not going to say no to the government benefits when you are coming above the poverty line. It's not like that. Below poverty line is the measurement what the government is trying to do on the economy, just to understand the societal status of the people or the economic status of the people. So we're not going to deny the people. No, you are above the poverty line. You are not allowed to join the government school. You are not allowed to get the ration card. You are not allowed to find the minimum subsidies by the government. Government will not say no. Okay. So that's a different thing. This is a different thing. This you have to understand very clear. Okay. Now we are going to learn about the other things. Okay. Lack of income to meet the basic needs. Now you write the exclusion factors, the factors which are creating poverty in an economy, the exclusion factors. When certain, because you know that inclusion is the main solution to address the problem, to address the poverty, we must include all the people in the growth and developmental process. People should not be excluded. But certain exclusions acting as the causes for poverty. What are they? When the people are socially discriminated, when they are not given even opportunities, okay, rural level, urban level, when there is social discrimination, then the people may not be getting even opportunity. So they will not be getting the platform for growth, platform to earn. So they will be suppressed by the people. They may be discriminated. So which may act as a reason for the continuation of poverty. That's a point number one. Social discrimination may be due to caste, maybe due to religion, or because of the prevailing economic condition itself. So the cycle will continue. That is the one reason for poverty. What if a person has a salary or monetary support same as poverty line, whatever may be, okay? Whether he gets a salary or it's a monetary support, okay? The point is, what is his income? When his income is below the line, is said to be poverty. That's all. Said to be below poverty line. Next one is financial inclusion. So here, when the government is denying certain benefits, or government is providing the benefits, but the people are not able to avail them. When they are financially excluded, when you go to the bank, you are not able to avail the bank loans. Okay, when you're not able to get the insurance benefits. So all the the mainstream facilities, when you are not able to avail them, even though government makes measures, you are not able to ensure those facilities to you. Okay, then we call that the situation is called as the people are financially excluded. So they are, what will happen when they are not able to avail the facilities from these institutions? They may get under the trap of the money lenders, and all those things will automatically step in. It becomes one of the cause for the poverty. So financial exclusion is second one. Then third one is the political exclusion. When the people are not properly represented, when the people's voices are not properly heard, for example, we have the reservation system. So we have the reservation for the women and for all the castes we have. So we are trying to include all the people. But even after that, when you don't have the proper representation of the poor people or for any society, then automatically when the voices are not heard properly, then the people, then it may become one of the reason for the poverty. So these are the exclusions. So here all the points, for example, lack of education, lack of health, lack of food, everything you can include under the social. Same thing, when the people are not able to get the job, government people are not able to get the government benefits, when they're not able to open the bank account, not able to get the loan, not able to get the pension, PF, insurance. Okay, all the things comes under the financial exclusion. Same angle politically. Okay, when the people are suppressed politically, when the people voice are not heard, when they are not properly represented, all the things, okay, will come under the third one. So I have given the broad factors. Under the broad factors, you can write the sub points. So poverty occurs because of the following exclusions: social, financial, or political. These are the exclusion which takes place in a country or an economy, which may lead to the conditions of poverty. Okay, now we are going to learn about other things. The impact of poverty. Impact of this segment completely in the mains angle, students. Mains perspective. Two perspective, this thing you can take this into your mind. One is completely mains perspective, and second thing is you all are civil service aspirants. You are going to become the future administrators. So here I would like to convey certain things into your minds. So in that angle, okay. So you are the right people, okay, because I personally feel that because poverty we have before independence also we had poverty. After independence we took many measures, but even now also we have poverty. Okay, 1947 also we had poverty. Even in 2021 also we have the poverty, but maybe the percentage would have come down, which means government is taking enormous measures. Government is announcing schemes, government is providing the funds to the people, plenty of measures government is taking, but even after that, we are not able to eliminate the poverty. Okay, even now, so what is understanding? For example, for the corona, even though whatever the measures the government take, okay, it should become a social movement. People should participate. So then, along with the people participation, government should be very methodical. Government should be take all the measures. Then easily we can end the thing. So it's a two-sided effort. In same angle, government is taking all the measures to eliminate the poverty, but all the government schemes are implemented by the bureaucrats. Okay, they are implementing the schemes. But when the people are not implementing the people schemes in a proper manner, if the 60% of the people officials are properly implementing, balance 40 when they are not implementing, then definitely we cannot eliminate poverty. So 100% people should have the they should have take the real efforts. So what is the real efforts means? Here the word which I like to use is 100% of the people should empathize about poverty. So the only weapon to attack poverty is not the schemes, is not about the funds. Nothing can control, eliminate the poverty. Only thing is we have to empathize the poverty. For example, you know that when any for example, take for example, when we read the paper. So when you are understanding that today in a particular place there is an accident, okay, just we'll cross that news thinking that it is a news, but the same accident happened in a family, it is not a news. Imagine, because same pain, the pain, okay, so what will happen is different. So the thing is, it's the same accident, it is the same impact, but we take the things a different way. Same angle, poverty means some family, some father, some mother, some kids, they are suffering, they're not able to give even the basic foods, okay, they are malnourished, they're not able to take care of education, good health, okay, so someone is suffering. So when you empathize that, okay, if my family lives in that situation, okay, how my kids will suffer, how my parents will suffer, how my wife will suffer, how my father will suffer, when you empathize that, then automatically, okay, you'll think that, okay, so this thing should not happen to anyone. So the real solution to poverty is empathizing, because even in the ethics, the main thing what we emphasize is so the empathy is the most important. So we got more sympathy, but the thing is we are not empathizing, okay, because here when the people those are implementing, when they got the real empathy, then definitely, okay, we all can just eliminate the poverty. So here, this impacts what I have given now. It is not only the impacts. Okay, here I'm going to pitch the situation in such a way which will help you to, because already you'll be having the empathy, but it's my duty as a faculty. Okay, I'm going to tell the scenario which will help you to empathize the people, how they are suffering. Okay, so when you get into the right position, so when you all implement your job, then actually what else country needs more than that? Okay, definitely. So country could be easily able to, because government is taking all the efforts. From top, everything is coming means till bottom to all the last man should reach means all the people, okay, here, okay, so administrators. So they should properly implement a scheme. To implement, we should have the empathy. Okay, that's my feel. Okay, that's my opinion. So in that angle, we're going to cover. Otherwise, I can cross the slide, this slide, I can just finish the slide in 2 minutes. But I'm going to spend some minimum 10 minutes, okay, or 12 minutes, okay, so that the points will stay in your mind. Okay, so in that angle, we are going to learn about these points. Now, the first one. Okay, students, first one is the health issues. Health issues, nothing to explain. You all know that because health is, for example, the health for everyone, even for the rich and the poor, should be given equal importance. It does not mean that the only rich should get the all the type of medical facilities, and then poor should not be, should be denied. It's not like that. Everyone should be able to get the even facility. But here, the life of the people, okay, so is undervalued because of their poverty condition, because of economic situation. If there is a kid from the poor family, or if there is a kid from the rich family, so when they have the same kind of ailments, okay, so here you know that, okay, so whose health is given more importance. But here the love and affection what the parents have on the kid is the same, okay, whether the rich or the poor, okay. But here we are compromising on the health because they don't have the money, so the health or the things are undervalued. But here we have the government hospitals, everything we have, government is taking the efforts. But many times, okay, many places the facility what the government is providing, okay, is not on par with the private facilities, okay. But here when you take the pandemic situation, but government is doing a very good job, because here the people, they are very happy with the government hospitals than the private hospitals. But in the normal scenario, that's not the way the things are operating or things are functioning, okay. So the thing is, poverty is taking a huge hit on the health of the people. So when the health is getting, okay, when they are facing the health issues, the health is getting compromised just for the reason of the they are the poor, so their lives are not mattered much or not given that much importance. That is one impact what the people are having, okay. This should be avoided. To avoid that, poverty must be eliminated, okay. Everyone's health should be given the even importance, okay. The first citizen to the last citizen of the country should be given equal importance, okay. That is the one impact what the people, those who are poor, they are suffering, okay. That's a point number one. So health issues. So regarding the health issues means being healthy, and then when they are falling ill, the treatment two-sided, you can two angle you can understand. So they are being, because of being poor, they are not healthy. So one angle, they are malnourished. So 2 points you can club and then you can understand. Because of being the poverty condition, they are malnourished. They are not able to take the balanced diet. So because of the malnourishment, okay, when they are, because of being undernourished, when they go to hospitals, their health is not taken care of in the right way. So this is the point number one. Then second point. So here, very simple example. Imagine that we all have we having kids in our family. Okay. So when we have the kids in the family, imagine that. Okay. So for example, it may be our kids or brothers' kids or sisters' kids. Okay, we will be having. Okay. So here, when we are not feeding our kid at the right time. So imagine the time is around 2 o'clock. Okay. Now normally we used to feed the kid by 1 or 1:30 or 12:30. We used to give. When we are sometimes, okay, because of some other commitments, we're not able to provide food to our kid at the right time, our kid will start crying, okay, because of 1 hour delay or half an hour delay. So here, which we may not be able to emotionally accept, because when our kid cries, okay, because of lack of food. But we have 14% of India's population, 14% of India's population children, they are malnourished, which means, okay, the basic nutrition what they require, okay, they're not able to get, okay, because that is a compromise what we are doing with the kids. These kids are the future generations. So when they are getting attacked at this stage itself, how they will become healthy. So if because the point is there should be even platform, because we all accept that. So if there is a race, imagine that there is a race. So what we all will say, so the race must be even, which means everyone should be, there should not be any bias or partiality. But we are having a race. Now, for example, after 10 years, 15 years, those who are kids now, so they will participate in the race, they will try to get the jobs, everything, they'll compete. But here the kids, those who are poor, they have to compete with the kids, okay, so those who are brought up in a rich manner, they are given better education, they are given better nutrition, everything. But here, the kids, those who are malnourished, not given better education, living in the poor standard of condition, they have to compete with these people. So the competition, we are calling it is even, but now, okay, to prepare them for the competition, we are not able to give them the even platform. For that, poverty is one of the roadblock. When the families are not in poverty, then definitely the fathers and mothers could be able to provide them the good food and then good education, good health. Then we can say that, because everything cannot be transferred evenly, because we got some economic constraints also. But here I'm telling about, I'm not talking about the luxuries. Luxuries we cannot transfer. Okay, we cannot give everything the luxury, but the minimum needs I'm talking about, the minimum food, the minimum nutrition, minimum health, minimum education. Okay, that we are also, the malnutrition is one of the impact what we are. Okay, so the kids are facing, because we say them as the pillars, we call them as the future generations, but we are not able to give them the proper food. Okay, so even after the many measures, so it's one of the problem. Okay, malnutrition, second point. So I'm just giving the hint students. It's just, you can take the hint, you can, because it's not the elaborate way, I'm not giving notes. Okay, you can empathize and you can write in a malnutrition. Okay, so because it is a most important essential thing what a kid requires. Not only the kid, even the adults requires. When the kids are suffering means, then imagine the parents, because always when the parents got food means, with even the minimum food they will serve only to the children. But here when they don't have the food, automatically then think about the parents' health will be automatically compromised. Okay, that is second point. Then third thing, this point is a very important point, student. Okay, this I would like to convey you, because always how the people are looking at the poverty means, the people those who are rich, the people those who are in upper middle class, okay, or even okay the people in the middle class or lower, whoever maybe, because so how we think that means, we think that poverty is not our problem, because I'm okay, I'm wealthy, okay, because I'm economically settled, okay, I'm in a good job. Like that we think that someone okay, almost 3 streets away, or 2 streets away, or 2 kilometers away, or 2 villages away, or 2 districts away, a person is living in poverty. Like that we don't associate ourselves with the poverty, we think that it's someone's problem. But when if you think like that, one day the poverty will become our own problem. How means, because the people those who are living in the poverty, okay, they will lose the hope on the society, because I'm not able to okay fulfill the needs of my beloved ones, so I'm not able to fulfill. So when they psychologically, so when they get this mindset continuously for years, at one point of time they'll be mentally convinced to get into the crimes. Okay, because they'll be having the hatred only towards society. So the poverty economic problem will get converted unknowingly. Okay, because it's not intentional, unintentionally it may get converted into the crimes. Because so when we look at the crime report or the crime statistics, okay, the people those who are very poor, okay, those who don't have any avenues, okay, they are pushed, they are cornered at one point of time. So here poverty, when they get converted into crimes, then the crimes will hit our families. Poverty will not hit our families. We can secure our family against the poverty. We'll think that it's someone's problem. But when the poverty gets converted into crimes, crimes will hit all the families, irrespective whether the family is a low income family or a middle income family or the upper middle income family or rich family. So the thing is, we cannot think that we are detached from poverty. We are always attached with the poverty. We got a link. Okay, so we should not let the poverty to get converted into the crime. So it is a duty of not only the government, it is a duty of the society. Okay, so it is a very important. So this we should understand. Okay, this is not the someone's problem. It will become our problem. We should not let it happen. Okay, that is the responsible society. So that's the third point, students, the crimes. Then comes the fourth point, student. Okay, then comes the fourth one. It is a pure economic point. Fourth one is an economic perspective. Okay, so the first two things, okay, so it's a little bit okay, so emotional or more human in nature. Third one is the okay, so it's a factor, okay, which will brings at least some fears in our minds, because in some way, okay, people should be convinced. Some people will get emotionally convinced. Some people through fear they will convince. Some people through awareness they will be convinced. Okay, because there are different ways of convincing the people. Okay, so here it's the economic way of convincing. All the point what we are saying is that we are trying to convince all the people in some way, so that society will not have poverty. Okay, next one is economic prosperity, because if I am a businessman, so what is my prime motive? My prime motive is a profit. Okay, my motive is a profit. So here I may not be a philanthropist, or I may not be a person with a social ambitions. I am a pure capitalistic mind. Okay, then what is my mind? My mind is to make profit. Now what is the pre-requirement for profit? For the pre-requirement for the profit is the sales. I should have more sales of my product, then I'll be having more profit. To have the sales, what is the pre-requirement? There should be more demand in the economy. The people should have demand for my products. To have more demand, what is the thing? We should have the more money supply in the hands of the people. So to have money supply, what is the point here? When you have 100% of the population out of 100, only 20 or 30% of the people has got adequate money supply. Balance 70 population, they don't have the adequate money supply. Then these people cannot okay convert their money supply into demand. When they are not able to convert, demand will not become sales, sales will not become profit. So at least for your economic intentions, you should ensure that all the people should have the even distribution. Then all the people could be able to convert their money supply into demand, demand into sales, sales into profit. So the eliminating poverty is one way we know that it's a socialistic aspiration. It is need not be socialistic ambition. It is also a capitalistic mindset. So the people, those who are capitalistic, you also think that, okay, you will be benefited when the poverty gets eliminated, because in the economic way, it will benefit the people. It is a win-win situation for the people involved. That's a different perspective, what I'm telling you, okay? So hinders economic prosperity, because you know that economic growth is directly proportional to the demand, okay? But here, when you got the segment of the population in the poverty cycle, so they are not having the income. When they don't have the income, then they may not be able to contribute to the sales, because you know that consumption expenditure, what we do is directly proportional to the national income of a country, because the formula for national income is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. This C is called as consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure is the money what the people have. So to spend more, I should have the money. To have the money, I should have the income. When I get the income, I may not be in the poverty, okay? There's an economic way of approaching the things. That's all, students. So you can write this flow chart. So economically, I'm pitching the point. No, exclusion factor is not used for identifying the BPL group. Exclusion factor is or the factors which will lead to poverty. Then crimes, due to crimes, okay, they will commit for crimes to earn money, yes, okay, but that's not ethically right. But the person will not be in the ethical mindset to understand those things, because when they get into crimes, we cannot accept that, because that's it's morally it's not good. But we cannot convince the people. Their mind will think like that. Okay, that is the problem. Then next one, okay, constitution makes for a huge focus on social and political, but not, yes, the reason is why we are not able to economically control the things means because you know that at one point of time our economy was completely government controlled, more socialistic. Then our economy, okay, before that, okay, we are having the capitalistic approach, but now we got the mixed approach, which means that we have to allow the entry of the private players. When the private players are expected by the government to participate in the economy, we cannot control them. So the thing is, because the privates, they enter into the economy only with the profit mindset. So when the profits are okay are actually restricted by the government, then they will not show willingness to participate. So more and more privates, when they participate, okay, then actually the socialist ambitions are getting diluted. So to avoid that, government should take part in the entire participation. That's not practically possible. So you know that, okay, otherwise government has to go back to the roots where we were before 1991. So that is the reason. So the point is, now when we become more mixed, or when we become more liberal in our approach, then automatically the private interest will dominate the economy. But always government should ensure that, okay, so the private, let them participate, but the weaker section, so the interest should not be ignored. Okay, for example, by giving them subsidy or by transferring them the minimum income. So by giving those things, we can secure the interest of the people, because we have to run the economy and then we have to secure the people also. Both the things should go in the parallel way. Okay, now next one. This point is a very important point, student. Not very important, is a very a point which will you all will connect. Okay, we easily connect. Okay, now so you are from weekend batch. Most of you may be directly from Chennai, or most of you may be from the other you may be hometown, maybe Salem or Coimbatore or Madurai. Okay, here you would have taken some hostel. You may be staying here. Okay, so and then PG or rooms. Then you may be preparing for examination. Okay, because now you know that you all would have experienced. Okay, so during the last year pandemic, so many of you would have stayed at home, or some of you, okay, would have got experience of staying in hostels in Chennai. Okay, now, okay, those who have got hostels, okay, now would experience that during a particular month, when you are not able to, your parents, okay, because of some reason, or you fail to send the money. So during your hostel warden, okay, so or the owner, when they start asking the money, if you are not able to pay the fees for 2 or 3 days, You know the mental struggle what we'll face, because you would not never experience the financial hardships because the parents would not have allowed you. Okay, somehow keeping all the burdens within them, but they send you money, all the things. Okay, but imagine that one point of time they fail to send the money means that 1 week definitely you would not have got the ability to focus on your studies, because in the morning to evening you'll think that okay, how will arrange the money, how will pay the fees, because your mind gets completely occupied with the financial pressure when you are in the financial distress or financial imbalance. Okay, so the point is, even for a week when you are financially disturbed, you are not able to focus on your studies. But in our country, we have got crores and crores of population. So this population, from the dawn to dusk or morning to evening, when they get up in the morning, when they go to bed, okay, daily morning, the problem what they think is, I don't have money today, so how I will get the money? Question number one. I don't have job today, how will I get the job? Even I get the job, okay, so the job is paying me very, very low wage. Okay, with this wage I could not be able to buy the food for my kids, I could not be able to pay the fees for my children or any health expenses. Okay, nothing my kids are asking, I'm able to give, I'm able to buy for them. Okay, so, and then apart from this, we got the money lender problem. So all the problem, money lender problem, okay, he will come today or he'll come this week, how I will pay the interest? So we got crores and crores of population in a kind of the mindset called as, we have kept them in a jail. Jail means, okay, it is not the prison what we all know about. Okay, so you know about the regular prison, that the person they are called, they are in the prison. But these people, they are not the prison, they are leading a free life, but their mind, we have kept them in a prison. Morning to evening, my mind is in a prison. What is a prison? My prison is called as a poverty. So morning to evening, I'm not able to think about any other things. Okay, so 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, daily they think about the financial problem. So what is the point I'm trying to say? A human mind will not think about anything beyond the poverty. Means mind could not be able to show its efficiency. For a mind to show its efficiency, mind should be given the freedom to think. Okay, then only a mind can come with efficiency, because all minds has got some equal capability. So you should give the environment. Okay, so the mental environment for the mind to think, but you are not giving the time. Means then imagine that you go crores and crores of population, for example 30% of the population, so 30 crore of the population, when you are putting in a jail, mental jail, which means they may not be able to show the efficiency. So here these people are not participating in the economic growth of a country. They are the population, they are the demographic dividend, but they are not able to participate or contribute to the economic growth of a country, because morning to evening they are thinking about the basic problem. So not because everyone has got the problem, but here the problem is a kind of the financial. So these things could be addressed. Okay, so this is one of the stress. Okay, stress. So stress in what way means, I'm connecting to the economic efficiency of the country, economic efficiency based on the human resources. But there's a certain segment, 30% or 40% of the human resources, we have kept them in a kind of a jail, mental jail, which we can connect. Okay, because not only about the we're struggling to pay the hostel fees. So we all would have encountered financial problem at one point in our life. So at that time, okay, how the hardships we would have we would have went through. No, the same thing. Okay, these people are facing from morning. Okay, from dawn to dusk. Okay, facing the same problem. This is the this point, meaning of this point. Then next point. Next point, students, lack of basic amenities. This point is very simple. You can just write. Okay, lack of basic amenities. But here I told you, so entire point I'm conveying in the empathy angle. Okay, so in that angle I'm pitching. So lack of basic amenities. What is the point is, now imagine. Now you're attending the class. You got the laptop. You got the connectivity. Now imagine that you got the power shutdown. So which means with the laptop, you could be able to attend the class somehow. But here, imagine you could not be able to listen to the class for next 15 minutes, because when there is no power supply. So in this summer, you could not be able to listen to the class, because that is the electricity is the minimum need. And then think about the drinking water, the quality drinking water. So all we got the drinking water, sanitation, minimum roads, electricity. But here we got the crores and crores of people. Okay, those who are living in a condition where they don't have the proper roads, they don't have the proper sanitation, they don't have the drinking water. But now the government is taking measures to provide drinking water. But many years, okay, in the past, okay, people has to walk 7 kilometers. Even now, children, okay, they have to walk 5 kilometers for the government school. So in our homes, when we got our kids, okay, we take them to the schools, we drop them in the schools, but the same kids, okay, so the same love and affection, what they expect, everything, okay, so they are walking for 5 kilometers, these things, okay, so we are not able to provide the evenness. Okay, so basic amenities here, the underlining what I do is a basic, not about the luxuries. Luxuries differs from the person to person. Basic amenities, because of living in the poverty, they are not able to access these facilities. Okay, it is a point, basic amenities. Next thing, student, last one is a feminization of poverty. This easily you can connect. Okay, the feminization of poverty. Not only in our India, in all developing countries and underdeveloped countries, poverty, the impact is more burden is putting on the shoulders of girls and in the women. For example, if we have a father, if we have a mother, and then if you have a son or daughter in a family, okay. Now imagine they got the problem number one. What is the problem number one? They don't have the adequate food, okay, or lack of food, or else they have the food, but they don't have the nutritious food. So here, when they have the minimum food, okay, minimum means all the four, they cannot have it. So what they are doing, okay, the compromise is done. First one is they are giving to the son. So then, okay, in this angle, okay, whose health is getting compromised? The daughter or the mother. So it is a basic food, but they have the adequate food, okay, it's getting shared among all the four. Then second angle, okay, now they don't have the money for higher education. So the parents are not able to spend. Whose education is getting compromised? Daughter's education is getting compromised. Okay, same angle. When they don't have the water, which means nearby, they don't order to have the tap water, okay, or the panchayat water. They have to walk for 7 kilometers to fetch the water. Means who is making the long walk? Okay, none other than the daughter and then the mother. Okay, they're making the long walk. Now we are able to give the LPG cylinders. Okay, earlier, okay, people used to fetch firewoods from the forest. Means who were making the long walk? Okay, the mother and then daughter, they're making the walk. And the very important thing is now you know that okay, men and women, they both are going for the job. But now in a family, those who are in the middle class or upper middle class, a rich class, when in those families, when the girls or women, when they're going for a job, they are almost getting a job which is more secured in environment, because they're able to raise again their voice, they're having the awareness. But these people, no, so this mother, okay, or the daughter, okay, from the poor family, so because of illiteracy, because some situation, they are not that much educated, they're not having that much opportunity, because of the financial condition, when they are looking for a job, they are getting themselves employed in a most unsecured condition, the place where they are working and then the place where they are traveling, how they are coming back. Okay, so all the things are most unsecured, because our sister, okay, or in our family, our mother or our kid, okay, when they are going for a job, okay, when they reach the job, okay, where they are working, where they are coming, we'll be calling back, because these kind of concern we have. Okay, the same concern, okay, we have here, but here they are living completely in a kind of environment which is not secure, because they don't have the bargaining capabilities. Okay, or they are not able to negotiate with the employee, because if not this job, I'll go for this job. Okay, like that, they don't have the opportunities. Okay, so this is the problem. So the poverty is more getting feminized, not only in India, so in more in the all the developing countries, all the underdeveloped countries. Okay, so these are the multiple shades of impact what we have on the poverty. Remove all the things, because when I discuss, no, so these things, okay, they are not normally would not have gone properly with our mind, because so we would not have felt happy by hearing of these things and all. So to eliminate all these things from our society, the only weapon is, okay, we have to eliminate them. To eliminate them, okay, we should have the real will coming from our mind and heart. Okay, so not only from mind, okay, it should come from our heart. Sometimes the heart is more powerful than the minds. Okay, so that to let our heart function, we should have the more empathy or regarding the poverty. Okay, with this, I'm concluding the segment on poverty. Rest of the things, okay, so when you become the civil service aspirants, okay, you'll get a chance, okay, so to do your job or serve your role to the country. Okay, now let's move on to the other segments. Okay, students, now we write the point, feminization of the poverty. You write the points in your own way. So one is nutrition is getting compromised, higher education is getting compromised, and then for fetching water and for fetching firewoods or getting a job. So in all areas we have the impact, because all the things are okay. So because government, even though government takes, because here I'm not putting the blame on the government. Okay, because whatever may be the government at the center, okay, so whichever may be the party, so they take, every government has taken some measure. Okay, so because the infiltration should take place properly. Okay, so the power is in the hands of implementers. Yes, Ashas are those BPL are known as extreme poor. Yes, that we'll learn, Asha. Now we are going to learn about the types of poverty. They are called as extreme poor. Okay, so now we got some ideas, students. So now we're going to learn about the next thing called as the types of poverty. Types of poverty. because and then this topic may be some little bit emotional, because we are learning about poverty, so it should be emotional means we are going in the right track. Okay, so don't feel bad. Okay, so because class sometimes, okay, because this topic is like that. Next one is types of poverty. Absolute poverty, relative poverty, situational poverty, generational poverty. One by one, let me explain. Okay, so need not write all the things. First you write the first one. Absolute poverty alone you write. Absolute poverty alone you write, students. Okay, first one is absolute poverty. What is absolute poverty? We all know that poverty means it's about the lack of income. Poverty means it's called as a lack of income. Poverty or extreme poverty, people used to call, that is about the lack of income. But absolute poverty not only considers lack of income. Absolute poverty includes lack of income also, because poverty means lack of income. But along with the lack of income, absolute poverty also considers, what they consider? It considers lack of access to the basic facilities of life, which means a person may be above the minimum income level. Minimum income level is 1,000 rupee. Take for example, a person may be earning 2,000 rupee, which means with respect to lack of income, he may not be eligible to be called as a poor person because he's above the income. But here he may be living in a condition or in a place where he's not having lack of access to the basic facilities of life. What do I mean by the term basic facilities of life? Means he may be living in a place without the proper drinking water, or he may be living in a place without proper sanitation, or without electricity, or proper rural roads, and then not having primary healthcare centers or nearby schools. These are the essentials what a person cannot establish on his own for himself, because it's the duty of the government. Because of my income, I could improve by going for a job, but these things, electricity, roads, these things, and I could not do it for myself. So these are the facilities which are more essential. So it also considers the living standards of the people. So absolute poverty means it is a scenario where the people are living without the income and also without the lack of access to the basic facilities of life. So that you're right. Okay, absolute poverty is a scenario where the people don't have the adequate income and lack of access to the basic facilities of life. Lack of access to the basic facilities of life. Type number 1. To the basic facilities of life. Example, what do we mean by the term basic facilities? Means drinking water, sanitation. So the basics you can write here: drinking water, sanitation, electricity, okay, or unhygienic conditions, whatever may be. Because hygiene condition and all is a pre-requirement. Okay, it's essential. It is not a luxury. Okay, so this is absolute poverty. So extreme poverty talks only about the income. So it's absolute poverty is more than that. Extreme poverty means the normal poverty line, what we call, that poverty is called as extreme. Okay, which means not having money for even for the basic income. But absolute poverty considers the lack of income and also the access to the basic facilities of life. Now we are going to learn about the second type. Second type is called as, okay, students, shall I erase? Deal? Fine. Now second one. Second one is all about, the second one is about relative poverty. 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 Okay. Now, students, this relative poverty is not the real poverty. It is not the real poverty. So this poverty, actually what we do means, here we compare the two people. For example, here we have a person, one person. This person will be compared with the another person. Okay. This person, according to the government standard, his income is 1,000 rupee. Imagine 1,000 rupee, which means 1,000 is a poverty line. Okay. He is considered to be BPL. This person is also earning same 1,000, means they both are same, equal. But this person is earning 2,000 rupee. So when you do comparison, he is considered to be better. Okay. Now we compare this person with the another person. Okay. Another person, he is earning an income of 5,000 rupee. So here this person, okay, is lower than this person. Okay, because he seems to be better. Now we have one more person. Okay, this one more person, he is earning an income of 10,000 rupee. Now he is considered to be poorer than this person. So here the poverty varies. When you compare this comparison, he is said to be poor. When we did comparison with these people, he is said to be poor. Then this comparison, he is said to be poor. So like this, we can compare among the people. People we can compare. Second type, what we can do is, for example, this person can be compared with the per capita income of India. For example, India's per capita income is around 1,37,000. So which means for this person, 1,000 into 12 months comes around 12,000. So his annual income is compared with the India's income. Or else one more person, this person 2,000. 2,000 into 12 is 24,000. So he is APL. He is APL. But compared to the India's average, he is not able to touch even India's average. Which means he is relatively poor when compared to the average Indians. One more person earning, okay, 5,000 rupee. 5,000 into 12, it is around into 12 is equal to 60,000. So he is far, far better than this person. But this 60,000 is very lower compared to the India's per capita income. So when compared to the India's average, he is relatively poor. One more comparison. This per capita income of India can be compared with any countries in the world. Per capita income of Sweden, of Norway, of US, of UK, of Germany. When we do, then this will become lower. Imagine then India's income will become lower. The same angle, when you do the comparison of the per capita income of Tamil Nadu with the per capita income of Maharashtra, or per capita income of Tamil Nadu with the Kerala, or per capita income of the Kerala with Meghalaya. So like this, we can do comparison between states or between region or between people. So this is called as relative poverty, which means this is not poverty. Okay, this is what this is all about. This is a comparison. So here this comparison indicates about the level of inequality what we have in a society. Able to get the picture? Okay, here when you have the comparison, okay, we understand, oh, this much inequality we have in a country, So when all the people are having the stable income, then we won't be having relative poverty, but that's more hypothetical. We cannot establish the same income among the people because there is a fundamental concept, which is a fundamental thread in economics. What is a fundamental thread? For example, imagine, okay, there are two people, okay. So here we have one person, and then here we have one more person. Two people are in the same office, okay. Now imagine we are trying to provide same salary to the both people, okay. Here what may happen? So here, whatever they do, if they both are getting the same salary, then they may not be interested or incentivized to show the efficiency. Which means whatever I do, I'm going to get the same salary. So here, the person who is working very hard, the person is very sincere, the person is very talented, okay, definitely we have to give him more salary. That is a part and parcel of the production process. When you do that, what will happen? Then one person will move up the ladder, another person, okay, so will lag the ladder. That is a fundamental concept because you cannot establish that all the person will be given salary because based on merit, based on efficiency, the salary structure will change. Salary structure will change means the society structure will also change. But when it changes, there should not be any dramatic changes. Okay, there should be some minor variation. This concept is called as relative poverty. So what the definition is or what the final statement is. So before writing, you can listen. Relative poverty is a type of comparative poverty. Point number one. Here we compare the income level of two different groups. So the two different groups may be between individuals or between the individual income, between the per capita income of a country or per capita income of two countries or two states or regions. Here the income at the higher level is considered to be or income at the lower level is considered to be relatively poor when compared to the high income group. This type is called as relative poverty. It indicates the level of inequality in a country. Okay, this you can write. Now, right, students, I'll tell the points one by one. Nishchit, Antyodaya, Anna Yojana, ration card are given to the people, those who are BPL. BPL, okay, so BPL, because you know that normal ration cards, and then we got special ration card, got Antyodaya ration card to the poorest of the poor. They are called as a BPL. But in India, majority of the people, okay, person who is earning 10 lakhs income per year, he is also having ration card in India. Because in India, we have developed a kind of mindset among the people. Ration card is the ID card for the family. Okay. Here the thing is we can use them as ID card, but the thing is we can just write a letter telling them I don't want ration card because I don't want ration. At least government can save the ration. Because when you are not using, the people, they are corrupting. What they are doing, our ration allotted by the government goes to the, okay, the person, so the ration or the person is running the ration shop or the other grocery owner, okay, because I have seen in real time many example where the grocery people, they will get the ration card. For example, if I'm having a ration card, I won't use them. I'll use them only as my ID card, okay, because here what I will do means I'll give a ration card a grocery shop owner. He will give me 300 rupees to me. 300 rupees or 400 rupees monthly he'll pay me. Then all the products he'll get from ration using my ration card. So here we should not allow these things. Okay, as a people, okay, when the people are doing like this, no, I don't want this money because because by God's grace, okay, or by through my efforts, okay, I am getting decent income. Okay, that income is more than enough. Okay, like this, when the people mindset, when it doesn't change, okay, then the ration card problem will continue, because ration card we got different colors. Okay, because normal ration card and the poorest of the poor, okay, like this we are giving. Okay, but when you are giving, the point is the people, they those who are earning good income, they should not falsify the records. They should not make them eligible as the poorest of the poor. We should not go for the ration. Okay, when you're really poor, we should go for the ration cards. Okay, because we got some societal obstacles also, because or else are not societal. Okay, because yeah, because the things are conveyed in such a way that ration cards are essential to act as identity proof for the families. But now we got the Aadhaar card. Okay, ration, or else when you want to have ration card, we can have them without the ration eligibility. Okay, citing that I don't want the ration. When you write and give, okay, then automatically things will be taken out. Then we can have only the ration card for our family. Okay, so in this angle we can do. So now we can write the points. Relative poverty means it is a comparative poverty. It is a comparative poverty. In this type, income level of two different groups are compared. In this type, income level of two different groups are compared. In this type, income level of two different groups are compared. And the people in this type, income level of two different groups are compared. In this type, the income level of two different groups are compared. And the people at the low income group, and the people at the low income group, and the people at the low income group is considered to be relatively poorer. And the people at the low income group is considered to be relatively poorer than the high income group. And the people at the low income group is considered to be relatively poorer than the people at the high income group. Than the people at the high income group. Okay. This type of comparison is usually done between countries. This type of comparison is usually done between countries. This type of comparison is usually done between countries, between people, between regions. Etc. Anything you can compare. This type of comparison is between two countries, or between two regions, or between two people, or between per capita income of one person with the country or with the state. Anything you can do, whatever you can fit in two groups. Okay, in two poles, whatever you can fit in, and then you can do the comparison. And then last point, this poverty is an indication of inequality in a country. This poverty is an indication of inequality in a country. This poverty is an indication of inequality in a country. This poverty is an indication of inequality in a country. Okay. So whether if we have the even income or even distribution, then we may not be having this poverty, okay, relative poverty. Okay. Yes. Now let's move on to the next one. Radhakrishna. Yes, they will make entry even if yes, you are right, Radhakrishna. Okay. So that's the corruption which is taking place. Okay. But now we got the biometrics, we got the smart cards. So everything government is taking. Okay. So government has taken plenty of measures, but always the good and then bad thing, because our people will show their complete efficiency in finding the loopholes. Okay. So that's the thing. Okay. That's the mistake, because DBT and all, okay, it's a very good initiative, but in DBT, there are some people, they are trying to do their, okay, so corruption also, okay, so it's because that's the thing, okay, which we have to feel ashamed. Okay, next one. Next, you write, students. Okay, so situational poverty, third one, situational poverty. Third one, situational poverty. This is very simple, student. Situational poverty is a very simple one and most disturbing one. Okay, so situational poverty. What is situational poverty means? Here, the third one. So here we may be having a family. Okay, this family may be living in a living in a comfortable situation. For example, okay, they are in the situational poverty, as the definition says, or as the name says, this is the poverty which comes unexpectedly to any family in a country due to unexpected or due to unforeseen circumstances. So what do I mean by the term unforeseen circumstances? Okay, for example, here there may be a family, we may be having a father or a mother, then maybe two sons or two daughters, or one son or one daughter. Okay, like that they got two kids. Okay, so here the thing is, suddenly, okay, the father is the prime breadwinner of the family, mother is a homemaker, then the two dependent kids are there. Okay, suddenly, okay, so because of unforeseen circumstances, the life of the father may be lost. Okay, so which we are now witnessing, no, during the pandemic. Father government is taking the, even yesterday, okay, both state government, central government, they're making some announcements. Okay, so that's a good gesture. But apart from that, okay, but apart from the pandemic also, normal situation, so there are many situations are happening. So here, when the life of the father or is lost means, this father is actually yearning for the family, so the entire family was very happy. But now if anything happens to the father, who is a primary breadwinner, mother is a homemaker, so here in a particular, after the particular incident, okay, the entire, okay, so the dreams of the family will get shattered. Okay, so everything, okay, because till yesterday when the father was alive, everything was going in a different way, but completely things will get changed. Okay, here these things are completely beyond the control of human beings. Okay, we cannot control these things in our life. But here we got some solution, because the loss of the father, okay, this place, okay, so here, because the loss of the person can never be compromised. Okay, because it is a because the love and affection what the father has given or the mother has given, it cannot be, okay, compromised. But here what could be done means, at least the economic loss of the father cannot be compensated, but the economic loss of the father, which means what the father was earning, so this economic loss can be compensated through the concept what we called as life insurance. Because if the family has taken some insurance, at least some money the family will get, so the mother can secure the interest of the kids using that money. So like that somehow, okay, we can ensure that at least my kids, okay, the dreams will get fulfilled even in my absence. Okay, like that, it is a minimum security what we are doing. But in this case, we can ensure this through insurance. But there is second situation. What is second situation? Here not only the particular person, so here we may be having many different families will be here or there. Okay, so here all the families may be living in a particular village or in a particular state. Okay, then suddenly what may happen is, there may be a sudden occurrence of a flood may occur. Okay, or there may be earthquake may happen. Okay, suddenly all the properties, everything will get, the people will lose. Okay, so now even, okay, so yesterday would have seen in news. Okay, the people they got evacuated. Okay, because of the volcanic fears or earthquake fears. Okay, or even take the Orissa. Okay, so here what happens? Okay, so any natural calamity happens. Okay, it's not beyond the control of the human. These things are beyond the control of human beings. When the things happen, flood or earthquake, so all the property which I had, all my shops what I had, all the property, okay, everything people will lose in a single stroke. Then next day, okay, they are after, okay, then they'll come to the streets. That's all. Okay, whatever they had, everything they will lose. This they cannot control on their own. Okay, this is a natural calamity. But here also we got some solution. Government will provide some support or some shelter, or else when you are insured our properties, we can get some insurance. Like this, we got some mechanism. But this is also situational poverty, but we can have some hope through the insurance. But there is a third type. What is third type is, here an entire country or entire place, okay, will be living very happily. But suddenly, okay, there, for example, if take India, okay, or take one more country, okay, suddenly, okay, the two countries get involved in the war, okay, which is beyond the control of the normal human being. When they get into war means, then suddenly two countries will get into war. Okay, they'll fight with each other. Okay, then suddenly, okay, everything will go beyond the control of the common man. Okay, then people will lose all the property, lose all the belongings, just to secure the life. Along with the kids, they will go to other country just for the purpose of getting some shelter. Okay, which means I lose all my address, I lose all my property. Okay, I'll be tagged as refugee, then I'll go to another country. So these things are not beyond our control. Okay, because because it may happen to any person, any country. Even you can take the recent incident which happened in the Israel, okay, because how many lives are lost, okay, because here these things, when it happens entirely, okay, the things will happen beyond our control. This type of, okay, because of the situation, because of the calamities, people may be pushed into a situation of poverty. This poverty is called as situational poverty. The sudden occurrence of event will push the family into a poverty, but only silver lining, the only hope what we have in this poverty is, even though it is very terrific, okay, when it happens means, but only silver lining is these people, okay, they were living a better life before poverty. So when they are given some opportunity, okay, either by insurance or by government, okay, when they are given opportunity, people will exactly use the opportunity, then they'll climb the ladder, which means they could be able to easily, okay, eliminate the situation. They'll come out of poverty because they were living in such a situation. They got the awareness, they got the capability. That is the only silver lining. But these things and all, okay, the only thing is we should think, okay, as a more responsible society, okay, we should have the mechanism to prevent all human beings from these calamities. Okay, that is the only thing, okay, what we can hope for or what we can do against these calamities. But the thing is, these are completely beyond the control of human beings. This is called as situational poverty. Now we can write situational poverty. Or you can take this pandemic example also. Many family know now what happened because the pandemic, no one expected. No, so these things will happen. Many people are losing jobs. Their regular income is getting lost. Okay, so everything is one of the example for situational poverty. This pandemic is a right example. So it's a completely unfortunate situation. Okay, because as a health issue it came, but now it's becoming going to stay as the economic issue. Okay, different. Okay, all the societal fabric, everything is getting affected. No, because of the pandemic. Okay, so there is one of the best example which you can easily connect. It is called a situational poverty. Sudden situation will completely change the prospects of the family or the people. Okay, so what the definition is, now we can write definition. The poverty which occurs unexpectedly, the poverty which occurs all of a sudden or unexpectedly due to unforeseen circumstances. Yes, poverty due to cyclones, floods. Yes. Okay, temporary, the temporary nature. Temporary is called a situational poverty. So the poverty which occurs unexpectedly due to unforeseen circumstances like natural calamities, war, or death of the primary breadwinner. So the prime earning member, the primary breadwinner of the family, when he is lost, death of the primary breadwinner, etc., etc. It is called a situational poverty. Example is the war, calamities, and then the pandemic, the corona pandemic. All these things can be written as the example for situational poverty. Okay, so this could be avoided with the help of insurance and government intervention. This could be avoided, or it could be mitigated. Sometimes cannot be avoided. Sorry, it cannot be avoided. The poverty can be avoided, but the event cannot be avoided. Only the war can be avoided. Okay, but the calamity and then other things, so the loss of the primary breadwinner. Okay, certain things are beyond the control of the government and the individuals. Now comes the next one, students. Next one is called as the opposite one. Now we have learned only about situational poverty. Now the next one, completely opposite, is called as generational poverty. Generational poverty. Talaimurai varumain solluvom. Generational poverty. So what is the meaning? This is completely opposite to the previous one. Previous one, I told you that is very temporary in nature because the people, they were living in a better condition, better shape. So when you are giving them opportunity, they will use them. They will come out of the poverty cycle. But here, the people, when you go and talk with them, they don't have the awareness that they are living in the poverty. They are illiterate people. They are very backward people. They are maybe living in a very backward region. So years after year, generation after generation, the family will be living in the poverty cycle. Because here you know that generation means we normally roughly call a span of 30 years as a generation. Because in 30 years, if they have the father, they would have grown the children. Children, when they come at the age of 30, at least they would have got settled at the age of 30. Now they may be able to make some income. With the income, they could be able to change the financial prospects of the family. next level family konjam kondu vanduruvaanga nenapom nama, but even after their entry they are not able to change the financial prospect. Okay, here what I mean is not about taking the family to the rich level, so that I'm not taking. Okay, because with the normal income, with the regular income, gradually only we can uplift the family. Okay, but here this the what I'm talking is the from the poverty level. Poverty level means just for the food and for the minimum needs. Okay, their family should be able to have the adequacy. So when the family is not able to do it, generation father he was living in the poverty. Okay, then okay son living in the poverty, grandpa is also in the poverty. Okay, like that they'll be living in poverty. When you go and talk with them, you'll understand that they are not aware that they are living in situation. The life will be very miserable. They may not be having adequate facility, but they don't have the awareness. This ignorance, this illiteracy is called as a generational poverty. This is very common among the underdeveloped countries. Not in the developed countries are developing. In underdeveloped countries or in tribal areas where there is no government intervention, very backward areas, or among the slave population. Okay, these people now we abandon the slaves and all, but if where we have the slaves, or here and there rarely in the minings, here somewhere in news we are coming across the people, those who are bonded laborers. So generation after generation, okay, just for the money they would have borrowed. Okay, so generation after generation without education they have to work. So these are the examples for the generational poverty. But here, unlike the previous one, here when you give them opportunity, they may not be able to lap it up, or they may not be able to use it properly. Okay, here we need some external influence. So someone has to interfere, someone has to intervene, has to help them, has to hold their hands, should provide the hand holding support, then only they could be able to come out of the poverty. Unlike the previous case, just you can give them opportunity, they'll be able to come out on their own efforts. But here they don't have the intellectual capabilities, or they don't have the financial capabilities, they don't have any physical materialistic capabilities, so they will be having lacking all these things. Okay, this type is called as generational poverty. Tamil வந்து தலைமுறை வறுமைன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, you can write the point. So when a family or in a region, poverty prevails generation after generation. In a family or in a region, when a poverty prevails generation after generation. In a family or in a region, poverty prevails generation after generation, then it is known as generational poverty. Okay, so this is called as generational poverty. தலைமுறைன்னு சொல்லுவோம். So தலைமுறை, it means a generation. One generation is called as தலைமுறை. Now இன்னொன்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, பரம்பரைன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, பரம்பரை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So people from Tamil Nadu would have heard about. I think even in the Kerala also it's a parampara. I think same. Karnataka also I think it's same. Okay, other state I don't know the name. So what is a parampara means? Parampara means it's made up of 7 generations. 7 generation we call it as a paramparai. So why? So that is a logic. Okay, but for people with Tamil Nadu, they can connect with the example what I'm saying. Other states may not be able to exactly connect. Okay, excuse me if you are not able to exactly connect. The thing is, why we call paramparai? Okay, paramparai in Narmada is a word which we use. Paramparai means made up of 7 generations. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, for example, now for example, if you take myself a second generation means so I'm the father. Okay, my son okay is considered to be the first generation. So my son, and then okay I'm the father. So son, father, then my father. Okay, my father is called as a grandpa. Okay, so grandpa, so son, father, grandpa. So idu on tata nu solluvom. Then Tamil we call the next generation tata oda tata ku peru kollu tata nu solluvom. Then okay tata oda tata ku peru ellu tata அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம். So அதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன சொல்லுவோம் அப்படின்னா தாத்தாக்கு பேரு சேயோன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். So அதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன சேயோல்னு சொல்லுவாங்க பாட்டிக்கு. So அதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க அப்படின்னா தாத்தாக்கு பேர் வந்து பரன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, பாட்டிக்கு பேரு பறைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So which means பரம்பரைன்னு என்ன அப்படின்னா தாத்தா பாட்டி, பரன் பறை. So why we call, able to get the logic? Okay, why we call it as a 7th generation is called as paramparai means. So the 7th order is called as the தாத்தாக்கு பேர், because now we call here son and then daughter. So here father, mother, here tata பாட்டி, here கொள்ளு தாத்தா கொள்ளு பாட்டி, எள்ளு தாத்தா எள்ளு பாட்டி, சேயோன் சேயோல். பட் 7th one தாத்தாக்கு பேரு பறை, பாட்டிக்கு பேரு பரன் பறை. So பரம்பரைன்னு ஒன்னு சொன்னோம் அப்படின்னா அந்த 7th தாத்தால இருந்து we are calling. Okay, that is a reference. Okay, but generation means this one is generation. So this one is generation, this one is generation. Just additional information I'm saying, students. Okay, it's not from UPS perspective. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. So this is about generational poverty. Now the next one. Next one is two things I think you don't need any explanation. It's called as a rural poverty. Fifth one, rural poverty. Next one is urban poverty. Rural poverty. Next one is called as urban poverty. Just write the names alone, because the definition for the two things automatically you can frame the poverty prevailing in the rural areas, poverty prevailing in the urban areas. So that's all. No need of no need to write the definitions and all. Just simply write rural and urban poverty. Okay, so we have completed up to this. We have completed up to this one. Okay. Now the next slide is poverty measurement. Okay. Now we're going to learn about some of the poverty data. Then after data, some of the poverty schemes I will mention. So with that, we'll be finishing poverty. Then after poverty, I'll be giving a 5 minutes break. Okay. Then we'll be going to the investment models. Okay. So now the next one is the poverty measurement. So in India, before independence, the poverty measurement was initiated by Dadabhai Nauroji. Just mere data, students, you can write the slides. Wherever required, I'll explain the slides. So in India, before independence, poverty measurement was initiated by Dadabhai Nauroji. So you know that we call him as the father of national income. So along with the national income, he made some efforts to measure poverty in India. So that was the first initial exercise commenced in India with the efforts of Dadabhai Nauroji. Then after that, during 1938 National Planning Committee, which we studied in our planning class. I have told you that the body appointed by the Congress called as National Planning Committee, they measured poverty based on subsistence diet, which means when the people are able to have money, earn money to meet their subsistence or to get their diet, then they are APL. When they're not able to do, they are got as a BPL. So based on the food, poverty was measured. Okay, so before independence, just you have some idea. Dadabhai Nauroji started the work on poverty. Then National Planning Committee, they also did some effort, made some efforts to measure poverty. Okay. Then after independence, okay, well, after independence, two bodies were doing the poverty measurement in India. Okay, what were they means? One body was, as we have seen, NSO, National NSO or NSSO. Okay, NSSO used to measure the poverty. Then along with the NSSO, Planning Commission. Planning Commission, what they used to do means, Planning Commission, they used to appoint different team of members. They used to appoint some task force. Then the people were entrusted with the responsibility of measuring poverty. So Planning Commission, now and then they'll appoint some team. The team will do the job of poverty measurement. NSSO, what they will do, when they take census once in 10 years, then along with the census, they will release the poverty report of India. Then in the meantime, census means you all know that it's taken once in 10 years. So then in between census, once in 5 years, they also take the poverty report of India. So NSSO released the poverty report in a span of 10 years along with the census, and in between the census once in 5 years. Then Planning Commission, now and then they appoint committee. They actually frame some methodology. Based on methodology, they release the poverty report of India. So NSSO is just field level data. They go to the people, they take the primary data, but this one has got some methods of measuring poverty. What are those methods and what are those committees? We are going to learn about them. Okay, so two things you understand. After independence, poverty exercise were carried out by two people. One was NSSO. They used to take it along with the census. When the population figures are taken, they used to measure the socio-economic caste census also. And in between the census, once in 5 years, they go to the field and take the data. So that is how they do. And then Planning Commission, they appoint team of people. They will be given the job of framing some methods for measuring poverty. Then applying the methods, they have to arrive at the poverty data of India. That's how the exercise were carried out in India. That you are going to learn now. Okay, now poverty estimation by NSSO and Planning Commission. Yes, now the Niti Aayog has been entrusted with the responsibility of Niti Aayog has been entrusted the responsibility of poverty measurement. NSSO and then Planning Commission. And then when a person earns good income during last year, and this year when the data is taken during the time when he's lost his job, means he'll be considered to be poor. Okay, when at the time, okay. So the thing is, okay, so we'll check whether the person, okay, without the income is got any sources for measuring income, any other income, rental income, any other sources. So even when he is jobless, when he got other sources which will give him the minimum income, then he will not be taken as a poor. But no other sources of income, he is also jobless, means, so when the time of data taken, he will be considered as a poor person. Okay, but he says, yes, I'm jobless, but only I'm unemployed, but economically okay, so no problem with me, then he will not be considered as a poor. Okay, so that is how we take the data. So now the next one. Now this one, NSSO is over. Planning Commission, how they appoint the team, we are going to see in the coming slides. Now this is the first team appointed by the Planning Commission. Friends, just for the continuity purpose, I'm continuing the class. So after the poverty, I could be able to give the break. So poverty will take further 10 minutes. So after that only I could be able to give the break. Okay, otherwise, okay, so I may not be able to finish the class on time today. So poverty estimation after independence, it was measured by the Planning Commission. Planning Commission appointed the team called as Dandekar and Nilkandarath Committee. This committee gave their assessment on 1971-72. So how the poverty was measured by this committee means they use this calorie. For example, for a person to live his life, what is the minimum calorie required? To get this calorie, what is the food he has to consume? To buy this food, what is the money he needs? This money is calculated as the poverty line. Able to get the flow chart? So calorie is the premise based on which money was determined. So we never determined the money. From calorie only determine the money. So you understand the picture. India started measuring the poverty based on the calorie perspective, but that's not the approach what we follow now. Now the picture is completely different. So the initial committee is appointed by the Planning Commission. They measured poverty using this approach of calorie. So get some just some idea, that's all. Okay, idea. Okay, in India the poverty measurement started by the Planning Commission committee by pitching the calorie as the benchmark. Okay, calorie got converted into the food got converted into the minimum income. For minimum income, so when the people those are earning above and below. Then next committee appointed by the people is called as Allied Committee. Allied. So here this Allied Committee questioned that. He made a question. Now you are saying 2,250 calorie. But rural people, they are putting more physical work. They are working too hard. How you can, but urban people comparatively not that, they are not doing that much physical work. How come the same calorie will be enough for both the people? Rural people require more calorie, urban people require less calorie. So he made some differences between rural people, rural calorie. So for the first time, he announced the rural poverty, urban poverty line. Rural poverty line, urban poverty, and then here for to get this calorie, this one was multiplied with the rural prices, which means to get the calorie, what is the income he needs means this got multiplied with the rural prevailing prices. This one got multiplied with the prices prevailing in the urban economy. So he made the differences. That is the change made by the Allied Committee. That's the next thing you are going to write. Okay, so Allied Committee made the differences between the calorie, between the rural population and between the urban population. Now comes the next committee called as Lagdawala Committee. Next one is called as Lagdawala Committee. Next committee was appointed by the Planning Commission was Lagdawala Committee. Lagdawala Committee questioned that now you are set rural and urban calorie, okay, fine. But when you take the people of South India, they are consuming rice. Some places they are consuming ragi. North India, when you take means many people they are consuming wheat. Some places they are consuming jowar. So here the price of the wheat differs from the price of the rice. then how come you can determine the same calorie line for the entire country, poverty line? So you determine some national level poverty line, but you should also have some state specific poverty lines based on it. So this calorie should be multiplied with the prevailing prices of the state, which has to be multiplied with the food what the people consume in the respective boundary. You got the plot? No, okay, that is how the committee pitched. Okay, that is called as Lagdawala committee, appointed on 1809, and this committee introduced state specific poverty lines. So now you are learning about the travel. First, it started with the Dandekar committee, which introduced calorie. Then we learned about the Alec committee, which made differences of 2100 and 2400. Then we have learned about the Lagdawala committee, which introduced some state-specific poverty lines. Then we are going to learn about the next committee called as Suresh Tenlukar committee, which you would have read about this committee in the newspaper in recent times. Okay. Now next one is Suresh Tenlukar committee. So now this committee was appointed on 2005. He gave the report on 2009. So he made two important changes, students. One is, listen now, then you can write. I'll give time to write. Okay. So here, this committee made a complete change of poverty estimation. What change? He questioned that. Now you are fixing only calorie. Calorie, you are saying 2100, 2400. That you are set them as the minimum calorie requirement. Okay, that's fine. But calorie can be used to determine only the food requirement of the people. What the people food, what quantity of food they require can be accommodated in the calorie. But a family, if they have to do some educational expenditures, how you will accommodate education expenditures in calorie? You cannot do it. When the family has to do some minimum expenditure on health, how you will accommodate the health expenses in calorie? You cannot do it. So the minimum educational health expenses cannot be brought under the umbrella of the calorie. So calorie is not the right method for determining the minimum poverty line. So they moved on from the calorie method to the another method. That method is called as the poverty line basket. What is the meaning? If I'm a person, if I go to the market, I'll go with a basket. The basket has to be filled with the minimum essentials, minimum money for food, minimum money for health, minimum money for education. So to fill this basket, what is the minimum income? That minimum income accommodates the health expenses, accommodates the education expenditures, accommodates the food expenses also. So this concept is called as expenditure based poverty. So now India relies on this method, expenditure based method, which is a result of the Suresh Tenlukar committee. Okay, so now you have to understand the travel of the change in the methodology. Okay, the whole methodology got changed. First you write, students. Okay, previous slide you come. Okay, so this committee submitted the report on 2009, students. That report was accepted by the economy. Then the same committee gave the report on 2011, but that report was criticized by the people. Okay, that 2011 report was criticized or questioned by the people. How come the minimum poverty line could be accepted? The poverty line is very minimum, like the people questioned the report. What was the report? Next slide it is given. Okay, so now first you write, from calorie based expenditure based method moved on. PLB is given here, poverty line basket, and then poverty line basket, and then Lagdawala committee, very simple. Lagdawala committee, okay, I'm answering doubt of a student. So Lagdawala committee, he questioned that committee questioned that different state people in different state, they have different food habits. So people in Tamil Nadu, to get the calorie 2100 or 2400, they are consuming rice. So rice is getting sold at different price in the market. But some people, those who are eating wheat, is getting sold at different price in the market. Some people, they are using, those who are using ragi, they buy ragi at different price. So how come we can fix the same poverty line? Okay, that is the question of the Lagdawala committee, state specific poverty lines. So for Tamil Nadu, you have to set some poverty line based on the price of rice. For the wheat consuming areas, you have to determine the poverty line based on the price of the wheat. Then in the ragi consuming or jowar consuming areas, you have to fix the poverty line based on the price of the ragi and jowar. Okay, now I think you would have got it clarified. Okay, so poverty line basket. So this is about the Suresh Chandlika. He gave the report on 2009, which was well received. Okay, no criticism. On 11, when it submitted the report, people criticized. Okay, so here what was that? Okay, now you can have a look at the data. So here till now I was using the word poverty line, poverty line, poverty line. But now I given some value for poverty line. You can have a look at the value. For example, the Suresh Chandlika committee pitched 33 rupees per day as the minimum income per day. 33 rupees. Now here you have to understand this exactly. What is this 33 rupees? Now you may be shocked with the values because when you go to the market, but remember this data was report was released on 2011. So even at that price, market price of rice now stands at 50 rupees in the market or 60 rupees in the market. At that time, the price of 1 kg rice was 30 rupees in the market, 30 or 31. So even at that level, this 33 rupees is not enough to buy even 1 kg. Then, sir, what may be the price of pulses? What may be the price of vegetables? Like that, you may think in your mind, but that's not the right way to think. Because government, to estimate the poverty line, they don't consider the market price of the rice. They don't consider the market price of pulses. They don't consider the market price of sugarcane, market price of oil. They consider only the PDS prices of rice, PDS price of pulses, PDS price of sugarcane. And then when you go to the private hospitals, what is the minimum amount? Okay, consultation fees we are charging, it won't be taken into account. When you go to government hospitals, primary healthcare centers or urban healthcare centers, or when you go to the primary schools or secondary schools, whatever may be, government schools, here what is the minimum expenditure people are doing? Only those things are taken into account. Okay, and then one more point you have to remember is 33 when it was fixed on 11. On 12, what the government will do means they will accommodate, they will change the value 33 according to the inflation of happened for 1 year. Then on 2013, the inflation on 13 will be accommodated. Like that, will be changing the value. So with this perspective right now, then I'll tell the criticism. First, you write the value. Yes, thank you, students, for okay, Lagdawala, okay, that's fine. Okay, so now have you all taken down? Now, what was the criticism? Okay, look at the criticism. People argued that the government wants to pitch this 21.9% to the global community. To the global community, Government of India wants to say that less people are living in poverty in India. Just to say that they want to bring the data down. So that's why they have accepted this 33. That's the people's argument. For example, let me tell this with example. Now imagine I am given the responsibility to measure poverty in India. So what I am doing is I am fixing that poverty line for India is not 33 rupees. I am setting the 3 rupees as the minimum income for 1 day. Like that, I'm fixing some poverty line. Now understand the point very clearly. Now I have set 3 rupees as a poverty line. Then based on 3 rupees, I'll apply the 3 rupees on all the population. Then all the people will be definitely earning above 3 rupees. So I'll say that in India, there is zero poverty. So I will eliminate poverty in single stroke. That's all. In India, 1 day I will eliminate the poverty. How many people are living in poverty? No one is living in poverty. Everybody get my point? So the poverty not only is based on the reality, poverty is based on the value what you fix. Okay, when you said 33, you will get this value. When you said 35, you will get some other value. When you get 45, you will get some other value. So Government has set this poverty line lower because government wants to bring down this data. That is a people's criticism. So government wanted to people to committee to have a relook at the data. So one more committee was appointed by the government. That one more committee was called as Rangarajan Committee. He was the chief economic advisor to the Manmohan Singh during the Congress government. He was appointed on 2012 just to review the report of Suresh Chandlukar, review this report. So that's the next slide. So he gave his report on 2014. 2014, he submitted the report. What was the report? Next is given. Okay. So it's continuing. Suresh Chandlukar appointed in 2005. Then 9 he gave, 11 he gave. 11 got reviewed on 2012. Report got submitted on 2014. Then what happened to the report? That we'll see. Okay. First we have a look at the Rangarajan Committee report. This committee got appointed on 2012 and report submitted on 14. Now he increased the value. Now have a look. 33 got increased to 47 from 33. Okay. Now look at the slide, student. This value got revised. No, 33 is far better than 47 because based on the PDS level prices. So the 14 rupees increase is a very good increase, almost a 30% increase he has done. Okay. So normally we expect that this will be well received by the public and by the government. So this committee was appointed on 12 and the report got submitted on 14. When it got submitted, we had the change of government also. Okay. From Congress, the government got changed as a BJP government. Okay. Now that this current government, okay, they decided that now which report has to be accepted. Whether this government will go with the Suresh Chandlukar or whether they will go with the Rangarajan report. Okay. So this government did a different approach. Okay. They made a different, took a different decision. Okay. What was that means? Just to tell the government which report has to be accepted, either Suresh or Rangarajan, to tell the to suggest the government, they appointed one more committee. That committee was called as Aravind Panagria Committee. This committee was appointed just to tell the government which report can be accepted, Suresh Chandlukar or Rangarajan Committee report. Okay, because if they accept this, okay, there may be political criticism. If they accept this also, sometimes there may be criticism. So to tell the report, just to validate, okay, you validate and then you tell us which can be accepted. Okay, so Aravind Panagria Committee was appointed. Then Aravind Panagria Committee submitted report on 2017. Just 2 years before the pandemic, okay, on 17, okay. Then this Aravind Panagara committee, just okay, to all your shock, okay. So the thing is, this committee accepted the Suresh Chandlukar report, okay. Then you may think that, okay, so it's not logical, or it's not acceptable. We may think like that, but we'll be stunned with the justification given by Aravind Panagara because it stands as one of the classic example how the things can be argued in economics. Because when the one people in one school of economics, when they argue like this, we'll accept that. Other school, when they argue in different, we'll accept that also. Okay, that I'll do now. First, you write the Aravind Panagara committee report. All right. Okay, Aravind Panagara committee. I'll tell the reason. Okay, what is substantiated. Rangarajan report. Okay, you want to copy? Okay, copy. Excuse me, students. Finish this, then Rangarajan report I'll show you. Aravind Panagara committee submitted the report on July 2017. On near 15 end, the committee was appointed. Then they submitted the report on 17. Accepted the report of Chandlukar committee report. Why? Okay, there should be some things which should be justified. Okay, justified on economic grounds. No, what was justification? Okay, that gives some different perspective. Okay, now those who not copied Rangarajan report, kindly copy. Fine. Okay. Okay. Now, so look at this slide. So now we all are happy with the values of Rangarajan because we think that it is higher than the Suresh Liquor, because Suresh Liquor we thought that the value is kept very lower by the government because government wanted to bring down the poverty percentage, because this is this government, because when it gets increased to 34, we'll be getting 23 percentage. When it gets increased to 35 or 36, you'll get the value as 25 percentage. So that the percentage increases when the value increases. So when we go to the Rangarajan level of 47, then definitely we'll be having some higher value. So which is also mentioned here, 29.5 percentage, because when the level poverty line got increased, the percentage of the population also got increased. Okay, now. So we all may argue for support for Rangarajan committee report. Okay, but now Aravind Panagaria supported Suresh Chandragar, saying that now he explained that now people, you all will be happy if I accept Rangarajan committee report, because you all are thinking that government wants to bring down this data. Just for this reason, government has accepted this value, like that you are thinking. So you will be happy if I accept 47, because when I accept 47, I have to accept 29.5%, because you think that government wants to have this lower value. That's why government has accepted this 33. You think like that, but no, that's not the real reason. Now the reason is, now you all will be happy if I accept 47. Now why 47? Let me take 470 rupees per day. Now take the example. Why 47? 470 rupees per day if I take means you all will feel very happy, because government has set some higher poverty line. So this will bring the more and more people in poverty, and like this will give the real picture about poverty. Like that, you all will feel happy. But what is the drawback? What is the drawback is, now imagine here we have a person. This person, no, who is earning 33 rupees. So this person next year he will make an income of 37 rupees. Next year he will make an income of 67 rupees. Next year he'll make an income of 127 rupees. Next year he'll make an income of 170 rupees. But what is, all this income is the progress what is making every year. But when you have kept a line of 470 rupees, according to 470, 37 rupees, still he is considered to be a poor person. Now 470 compared to 67, still he is considered to be poor. Now 127 rupees, which means he made 4 times progress than the 33, but still you'll call the person as you are BPL, because you're not crossed the poverty line. But even when you touch 170 or 270 rupees per day, still you will be considered as a poor by the government, because you kept some higher line. Even when you reach 469 rupees per day, still you will be called as a poor person. Able to get the point? So the progress made by the people from 33 to 37, from 37 to 70. So the people have made the progress, commendable progress, but all the progress will be unnoticed by the government. Because imagine that here we got some 1 lakh people. 1 lakh people have made the income from a movement from 37 rupees. They have made the jump to 469 rupees. You imagine that. Last year, the people were, all the 1 lakh people were earning 37 rupees. But this year, from 37 rupees, 1 lakh people, they made the progress to 469 rupees. But even though they made the dramatic progress, still you call them as a poor. The people will be counted only under the poverty line. Able to understand? So the progress made by the people, the impact of the schemes on the people could never be estimated by the government. To understand the progress, you should have some tighter lines. For example, 33. So you keep lines as 37. So in 4 rupees, when the people have made the progress, so you think that, okay, last year we had some 1 lakh people in poverty. This year we have only 97,000 in poverty, means 3,000 people have made the progress from 33 to 37. So the progress of the people could be understood only when we have some tighter lines. Able to get the point? When we have some liberal lines, so the things will go unnoticed by the government. And moreover, we are not going to deny the people the benefits like ration shops or other benefits just by considering whether they are poor or not. Okay, BPL is just a measurement what we are doing, just whether the people are living below the minimum line or not. But even when they live above the minimum line, we are not going to deny them the minimum benefits. So it is a measurement what the government is doing just to understand the impact of the program on the economic standards of the people. Able to get the point? So I feel that Suresh Rendlekar line is more tighter. This helps the government to know about the progress of the people. Each and every small movement what the people makes could be understood by the people, and this can be adjusted every year for the inflation of an economy. Now, I think you will be justified with the Aravind Panagria also. Okay, so two different schools. Okay, so this is the thing. Now you can write the Aravind Panagria. The point. Okay, so because accepted. Okay, this committee accepted the Tendulkar lines. Okay, because Tendulkar committee helps to track the economic progress of people. Helps to track the economic progress of people. Helps to track the economic progress of people. And then tighter lines are required. Tighter poverty lines. Tighter, which means more closer. Tighter poverty lines are essential. Tighter poverty lines are essential. To understand the people's economic progress. Tighter poverty lines are essential to understand the people's economic progress than the liberal lines. Than the liberal lines. Than the liberal lines. Fine, students. Okay, so now you return now. That's all. Hereafter, we are going to have some 2 or 3 reports. Just we can copy the reports. Okay, multidimensional poverty index, global hunger, some data we have. That's all. Okay, so in 5 minutes we'll be finishing. So this is a lengthier segment. Okay, so we have completed the poverty committees and then report and then controversies and then the final solution given by the committees. Okay, so we are done with this. Okay, now next one. So SDG, kindly write SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. SDG. So you know that Sustainable Development Goals are the global goals we have for the global community, which has to be achieved by all the countries by 2030. So from 2015 onwards, we have accepted these goals. Before that, we are having the goal called as Millennium Development Goals. But here, why we are learning about this? So here, by looking at the image itself, you can understand there are 17 goals mentioned here. Now, what is the connection of these goals with our poverty class is, so the Sustainable Development Goal has got one goal as the one goal connected to the poverty. What is that? The goal number 1, which is given in red here, the first one. That is the goal regarding poverty. What is the goal? According to Sustainable Development Goal, we should not have poverty in any form, poverty by 2030. So this is the understanding what we should have with respect to prelims, because the statement may be asked. According to Sustainable Development Goal, the target of reducing poverty is to bring down it to less than 5% of global population. That is wrong statement. To bring down to 3% of the global population, wrong statement. 1% of global population, wrong statement. 0, okay, to bring it to 0, that is the answer. Okay, that's all. This I'd like to convey to you. For the reason we got this slide. Okay, now the goals, just if you should be aware of goals. If you are not aware of goals, after the class, just learn about all the goals. So Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals, no extreme poverty, which means the income based, the poverty line. Common poverty is known as extreme poverty. And students, I think definitely I'm not going to finish by 4:30. And moreover, I have started the class by 1:30, so it won't be good. if I continue the class after 4:30 also, because so it won't be proper. Okay, because you got class by 5 o'clock also. So I think you take break now. So in the meantime, I'll talk with the academics team, because I think minimum, okay, more than 1 hour I need for investment model, because it's very important topic. Just for the sake of completing the topic by today, I don't want to rush the portion. So I talk with them any other things or opportunities available, so that we can plan it to have by next week 1 hour. Okay, because how many topics are pending for your batch? Which subjects are you over? I think I think by today batch three is, I think today batch three you don't have class, but I think for batch seven you'll be having class today. Batch three over, no? So I think you got governance over for your batch. Governance pending, no? So 1 hour class. I think so. Allah, when Arun sir takes, I think I can ask for 1 hour or 45 minutes. I can do that. So I'll just batch three over. I'm getting messages. Batch three no class. 9 subjects. I think 9 subjects still need to be finished for batch seven. And then only for only 5 p.m. I won't extend. Today I'll finish the class before 30, because I think it's batch seven. I think governance video will be governance video will be provided. Then I think if possible, then the evening, no, evening 6 to 8:30 session you got, no. So I'll discuss with our team. Now we go for a break, students. So we'll have that 1 hour session. So 6 to 7, like that we'll try to have. Okay, or else next week 1 hour like that. I'll come with answers after the break. Now we have break, because in the next 30 minutes definitely I could not be able to finish. If I tried to finish, then all the efforts what I given, no, so everything, okay, will get diluted, because at the end you will not get the complete satisfaction. And moreover, even I won't be satisfied. Okay, because I try to rush the topic. Okay, so governance, Helen, governance, PIC, modern India. Helen, you are batch 3 or 7? Seven. Okay, seven. We got many classes are pending. Many 7, but 3 I think is the batch which commenced earlier before you. Okay, I think 3 has got, because I'm taking combined class. Some faculties they take okay, separate classes. So I think 7 they got polity 2. 3 you don't have. But as I'm taking combined class, I need both your batch presence. So today now we go for break, students. Let's assemble after 5 minutes or 7 minutes. So in the meantime, I'll talk. If I'm able to talk, means I'll talk. Then we'll plan accordingly, because I think definitely now we got only 30 minutes more. Even to finish poverty, I need 4:15 or 4:10. So in 20 minutes is the most important topic, because I think you don't have any notes in the market. You don't have any notes in the even in the Google for the investment models, because that's a very important thing. Because I have combined the notes from any area. So I feel it is very important thing. I don't want to rush it. So I'll discuss them. Okay, because today, Archana, we cannot extend, because for batch 3 you will be okay, because you don't have a second session. Batch 7, I think they got class at 5 o'clock. So we cannot, moreover, because of my need, we cannot postpone other subject faculty also. So let's, as per the plan, you have the polity class today. So now we take break. So after the break, I'll come with some solution. Okay, so now because I need 1 hour more. Okay, with 1 hour we can plan it on weekdays. The 6 to 8:30 will be having, no. So by 6 o'clock or 5 to 6, like that, let's have some 1 hour session. Or next week, if you got any classes to be conducted, so I'll join with them. For example, any governance class, any current affairs class, I'll join with them. If there is no arrangements like that, then what I'll do means I will take class on the weekdays, no, for 6 to 7 or 5 to 6. So now we go take a break, students. So I think I'll be giving a proper answer after the break. Okay. Now we take break for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay. 3:57. Let's assemble back at 4:07. So at the time I'll give you the. We'll talk about it. Okay. Go for break, students. Take some break. Okay, students, am I audible? And then students, first, okay, before going to the messages, okay, let me, are you all back? Am I audible? Yes, fine. Okay, students. Okay, so now let me pass on the information. So as we have discussed, I have got separate 1 hour session, 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes I got separately. So I have planned to take the session on Tuesday. Tuesday you got social issues timetable, no? Tuesday. So Tuesday, how I have planned means Tuesday, I'll be taking the class from 5 o'clock. Okay, 5 to 6:30. So I have planned maximum 6:15 or 6:30 I will finish. So 5 to 6:30 will be general economics. So we'll be completing investment models. Then we'll be having some 10 to 15 minutes break. We'll be having. Then at 6:45 or 7. For example, if I'm finishing by 6:30, 6:45, sir will start social issues. If I am finishing by 6:35 or 6:40 only, then by 7 o'clock, sir will start social issues, which will go up to 8:30. So the thing is, okay, instead of 6 o'clock, Tuesday class alone will start by 5 o'clock. You'll be getting in between 15 minutes break will be giving. Okay, so this is it okay to everyone? So normal class, normal social issues. So instead of 6, we'll be having class by 5 o'clock. So I'll take that 1 hour. Along with that, I have taken some half an hour class. Okay, that's all. Okay. So if I'm finishing by 6:15 means, so the class will start only by 6:45. Which means if I'm finishing, get this point very clear, because we will convey to sir to be ready by 6:45 to 7. Between that, sir will be ready. Okay. If I'm finishing by 6:15, then suddenly we cannot ask sir to come by 6:30 immediately. He cannot join. So we'll fix his time between 6:45 to 7 o'clock. So if I'm finishing by 6:15 means, then you'll be having half an hour break. You'll be next class will commence by 6:45. If I'm finishing by 6:30, your class will start by 6:45. So the thing is, social issues will start between 6:45 to 7. Clear to you all? Okay, so this is about the thing. So today we'll complete poverty, and then the maximum investment models which we can start will start today, and then we'll get into the remaining portions in the Tuesday's class. Okay, and then Nilar Jyoti, based on your question and all, so if we get time on Tuesday, then I'll give you some tips regarding the mains answer writing. Okay, if you are not able to do on that day, so I'll be giving you my mail ID, okay, which I normally used to share with the students. So after the class gets over also, so whatever, so answer you are writing, so whatever suggestion you need, okay, you can send, you can send your answer, you can ask me to correct your papers, this thing, health things and all you can do, okay. I'll share my mail ID on Tuesday, okay, so do not worry about it. Okay, students, now, so before proceeding further, and then Avinash has asked, how many subjects are remaining for batch 7? That you have to tell me. So batch 7, okay, because I think he wants to get some confirmation. So you can help Avinash, please. How many subjects are remaining? Students, please send me some message. I'll pass it on to Avinash. For batch 7, how many subjects are pending? Nilar, Helen, please. Chandramohan, don't know. Fine, then others, those who know, you can send me message. Batch 7. You can, okay, I think some student already has sent exact message I received. Dadabhai Nauroji is the father of national income, Akash. Father of national income. Prashant, maybe we can conclude after poverty and you can take a complete class to cover investment models. That's a good suggestion, Prashant, but my fear is, so if I do that, I think definitely I'll be doing that only today, because I know that now we are in 10, 4, 10, 4, 12, 4, 15. So only I could finish poverty. Okay, if I'm able to get 5 minutes also, let's step into investment model, because on the Tuesday we won't be having any issues. Pending, Helen has mentioned governance, post-independence consolidation, modern India, social issues, polity, IO, science and technology. Okay, so I think these are the topics pending for batch 7. Okay, so this is a message which he sent before the break. Now Nilar Jyoti, Nilar has sent post-independence, governance, disaster management. Helen has sent us post-independence, modern India, social issues, Polity 2, international. Actually, for batch 7, you'll be having. So these are the for your question. So these are the subjects: post independence, modern India, social issues, polity 2, IO, governance, Indian geography. Okay, for batch, then disaster management mentioned by Nilar Jyoti. Is it pending? Okay, that can also be added. Okay, can be added, summed up. Okay. Yes, these are the topics which you can note it down. Avinash, okay, so you can note it down. Okay, so this is from the answer which I got from your batch. Okay. Volume is not clear. Nilar, okay, send. Okay, okay. Nila Jyoti. Shruti said modern India. Shruti ma'am said modern India is over. It's not over, no? It's over, she said. She said like that, Nila Jyoti is saying. Okay. Anyway, okay, so we'll have a check. Okay, so if it's not over, so it will be given. So just to check whether if you missed any class during that weekdays. Weekdays means nothing missed means definitely not worry about it. Okay, don't worry. Okay, because you got the mail ID also, no? Because if you say no, then definitely we won't say yes. Okay, so do not worry about it. So if you say no, we won't say yes. So don't worry. Okay. So if you said if it's not over means definitely class will be given. Not worry about it. Okay. Not even 0.1%. Not worry about it. Yes. Many students are saying modern India spending. Definitely I will convey to Shruti ma'am also. Okay. So I will convey also after the class gets over. I will convey also. Don't worry. Okay. So modern India class will be having. Yeah, up to 1930s. Yes, definitely. Okay. Then it's not over means you can don't worry. Okay. Vignesh, we can go for class. Yes, Vignesh, we will go for class. Okay. Okay, students. Okay, so inform those things. Okay, coordinator will inform those things. Okay. Yes, because the thing is sometimes, okay, students, you may try to use the platform to get some clarity. Okay, that's why they're asking. Okay, because if they put those questions, I cannot ignore. Okay, so that's the thing I'm doing. So don't worry. Okay, so I got that because I need 1 hour 15 minutes. I taken 1 hour 30 minutes adequate time also. So I think Tuesday I won't be having any issues. Okay. Okay. Now today let me try to complete the poverty. So other doubt students, as usual, after the class gets over, I'll come back to your doubts. So now this you have completed, students. Up to this you have completed. Okay, now next one. MPI. This already Sharat sir would have taught you. Okay, in the core economics. Okay, multi-dimensional poverty index. Now just we're going to have a look at the data alone. Data alone, we're going to have a look. Okay, now MPI. So you know that MPI is actually released by UNDP and Oxford Poverty. They're releasing this data. And India ranks 62 with a headcount ratio of 27. This report is for 2020. Okay, 2020, what is the MPI? India ranks 62nd with a headcount ratio. Headcount means the people, those who are in poverty. 27.91%. And then students, don't forget, Tuesday class starts at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Okay, not 6 p.m. Okay, remember. Okay, copied. Next few slides, we got only the slides. Okay, data. Okay, so India ranks 62. Then global hunger index. Global hunger index. Okay. So this is regarding global hunger index. Okay. So now next one is global poverty line. So here, students, you have to understand the concept. In global poverty line, actually, each and every country in the world, they set some poverty line for their country. Apart from that, World Bank, what they do means for the global level. For example, when he said 33 rupees per day, okay, it is the parameter what we are setting for India. So global level, to have some comparison, World Bank, they set some line, okay, based on dollars, they set some line. This we can multiply with the conversion rate, we can multiply. But this line is fixed by the World Bank. For that, to measure the poverty, which means extreme poverty, which means the minimum lack of income, they have set some poverty line. That poverty line we're going to learn now. What is the poverty line set by the World Bank? So we got some common line for all the country. Then based on the economic level of country, we got some higher, some differential levels. What is that? It's given in the slide. First one is, earlier it was 1.25. Now it got revised to $1.90 per day. $1.90 per day. And this line measure the number of people living in extreme poverty and helps compare poverty level between countries. Okay, $1.90 per day. Then this is the line which we apply commonly for all country. Okay, all country, based on that, how many people are not able to earn this level, we call them as a extreme poverty. But you know that countries normally called as low income country, and then some countries are called as a lower middle income country, and some countries they are called as a upper middle income country, and some countries we call them as a high income country. Like that we normally classify the countries globally. So this 1.90 we said commonly for, we apply commonly for all the country. But when we, for example, 1.90, when you apply for the high income country, normally there won't be any poor, because everyone will be normally earning higher than 1.90. But to have the understanding, we should have a value which will help us to identify the people at the bottom strata in those countries. So in those countries, what is the minimum level should be considered. So we have some differential line which will be applied based on the economic level of country. But common line is 1.90. That is the common line. Then based on the economic standard, okay, low income, see the same 1.90 will apply. But here we will apply some 3.20. Here we will apply 5.50. Here we apply $24 per day. Look at the point, which means $24 per day means that is the normal income for average citizen in the developing country. And here $24 means you don't multiply with the market rate. Market rate is around 80 rupees per dollar or 75, 72. Then we don't multiply. Here we multiply with the PPP exchange rate, which you all would have already covered. Okay, purchasing power parity. For example, when the value is around 35 or 40, this only we multiply. We don't multiply with the market exchange rate. So this you get to understand. Then you copy the next slide. 1.90 per day for low income countries, and 3.20 per day for lower middle income, and 5.50 for high income countries. And here, sorry, upper middle income, and then $24 per day for high income countries, which comes approximately around 700 to 800 rupees per day. 700 800 rupees per day means that is a poverty line specific to the developed countries. But 800 into 30 days means it comes around 24,000, 25,000. That's more than the average income of a developing or underdeveloped country. So common line is 1.90. Then we got some exclusive line for the countries based on their economic status, based on the economic level. Okay, so clear? So $1.90 per day, 3.20, 5.50, $24 per day. And then we multiply with the PPP exchange rate to have the comparison. Okay, to have the conversion. Now the next one is schemes for poor people. Some schemes I have given. Schemes you can just, for poor people, you can just write down the schemes, copy the schemes. Yes, MDPA and all the multidimensional poverty index, no, they release the poverty based on 1.90 only, extreme poverty only they release. They don't apply 3.20 or 5.50. That we do based on the country by country basis. Okay, so the data what we have is based on the $1.90 per day. 1.90 extreme poverty only using. 3.20 means then the count will be more, higher, still higher. 5.50 still higher. So schemes for poor people. First one, Food Security Act of India. Food Security Act of India. So all the poor people, they'll get the minimum essentials, rice, wheat, and core cereals at the price of 3, 2, 1. Food Security Act students already, I think you should be aware. If you're not aware, kindly have a look at the food security, because you should have some basic idea about the Food Security Act of India. Then other scheme is midday meal scheme for the poor people, one of the world's largest program for the children, school going children. India is which type of country? We are in the lower middle income, low middle income. And then if you want to have some clarity, you can write these values so that you'll have some clarity, students. $1,035. I'll write some values. First, you $1,035, one value. Next level is $4,045. Next one is 12,000. Don't write, listen now. $12,535. Now, when a country is earning less than 1,035, okay, so then the country is called as low income country, lower than 1,035. 1,035 to 4,045 now will be called as low middle income country. Then 4,045 to 12,535 now will be called as upper middle income country. This range, this band, higher than 12,045, we call it as a high income country. So lower than 1,035, low income. 1,035 to 4,045, low middle income country. Low middle income. So I'm answering to the doubt asked by one student. Okay. Here the head count and then the thing. Okay, the poverty, they both same. So here the individual. Okay, the individuals will be counted. That we call it the head count ratio of a country. So counting the heads, how many people are living under the poverty, not the household, angle. Household value will be lower. Okay, that we take it as a based on the house member of 4-member family. That's different. Okay, head count means individual. Each and every heads of the country will be counted. That released as the poverty data. Head count ratio means individual will be counted. So 1,035, 4,045, 12,535. India is in this range. Low middle income country. This one is upper middle income. Then this is high income country. $1,035, $4,045, $12,535. Okay, $1,035. Okay, per year. Okay, per year. Per capita income. And so what we are writing about? When the per capita income is $1,035, it is the low income country, lower than. When the per capita income is 1,035 to 4,045, then we call them as a. So what I'm talking is about the per capita income. Next one, Suraksha Bima Yojana. So 1 rupee per month insurance for the poor people. Suraksha Bima Yojana. but covers only accidental benefits. Yes, in education also you can write. Okay, for example, someone has mentioned you can write, tell some schemes in education. Yes, we have schemes like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, we have Rashtriya Madhyamik Abhiyan, Rashtriya Uchatar Abhiyan we have for education, Rashtriya Swasthya Yojana, Ayushman Bharat you can write, okay, for the poor people what we are providing. Then state level we got the Chief Minister's health insurance scheme in respective states. So that you can make a mention. Anything you can write. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. This is 330 rupees per annum, provides 2 lakh insurance for natural death and accidental death. Because with the minimum coverage, minimum contribution, you are securing the economic interest of the family. $1,035, yes, $1,035 is the per capita income for crossing the status, low income status. Till $1,035 will be considered as the low income country. Next one. Just next scheme is Jan Dhan. Jan Dhan is actually not the poverty reduction. Jan Dhan is the financial inclusion scheme. Financial inclusion. But when the financial inclusion gets implemented, the schemes like insurance and then DBT, all the things can be provided to the people or implemented. When the things are implemented, we can help the people to come out of poverty. Not the direct scheme for poverty. It is a scheme which will have indirect impact on the poverty. Food for work. Yes, you can write the old programs also, but try to write the current programs. Those who are not copied, you can copy the previous slide. It's a common no. So normally in your bank account, you all may have the deductions experience. Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. So this covers natural as well as accidental death, but previous one covers only accidental death. Jan Dhan Yojana, that's all. Okay, so now how to update this area, students? You can update this from PIB, from newspaper, then IAS Parliament schemes you can update. So this is how we can update for the poverty area. So and then other current affairs scheme or economic survey. Okay, economic survey also you can have a look. So then poverty. So the dynamic areas we will update automatically. Conceptual areas we have done. And then now the time is 4:30 exactly. Okay, so I'll finish the class. So those who have got doubts, okay, you can sit back and get the doubts clarified. Others, you can get ready for the next class. So Tuesday, we have got our class scheduled at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Okay, this is our timing. Then you'll be having 15 minutes break. Then you may have social issues starting from 6:45 or at the maximum. Okay, if I'm delaying, then the class will start at 7. If I don't delay, then social issues will start sharply at 6:45 p.m. Okay, so it's a maximum buffer what we are having. 15 minutes buffer we are having. Okay, so you'll be having 15 minutes break. With this, I'll finish today's session, students. And then today we have learned about the pending portion of unemployment. There we have learned about what is meant by natural unemployment. Then we learned about some of the poverty data. Then we after that we learned about some of the poverty schemes. Then we covered about the what is meant by poverty line. Then we learned about the causes for the poverty, exclusion factors. Then types of poverty. Then we learned about impact of poverty. Then what are the poverty measurements we followed before independence, then after independence. So here we learned about Dadabhai Naoroji, then about the National Planning Committee. Here we learned about the Dandekar Committee, Nilkanda Rath Committee, then about the Alak Committee, then about Dandekar Lagdawala Committee, then about Suresh Nalkar Committee, then about Rangarajan Committee, then about Aravind Panagria's statements. Okay. Then we learned about multidimensional poverty index. Then we learned about the global poverty, global hunger index. Then we learned about the global poverty line. Then about sustainable development goals connection with the poverty. Then we learned about the some of the poverty measures for the poor people, schemes for the poor people. These are the things what we completed. Now directly we'll get into investment models in our next class. Okay. Thank you, students. The class gets over. Those who got doubt, you can stay back and get your doubts clarified. Others, the class is over. Thank you, students. Thank you all. Before JJBY. Prashant Pandey, thank you. Radhakrishnan, thank you. Before JJBY slide. Yes. Kurukshetra and Yojana, Helen. You read them in the mains perspective. Don't read them in the prelims perspective. You read them, and then, for example, when the questions are asked, when you look at the topic itself, you'll understand whether based on the previous year question. First, you time permits, you go to the previous year question. Then you'll get under, because of Yojana, Kurukshetra, very vital for the mains angle. Prelims angle, when you read, means so it's very difficult. Prelims angle, you kindly go through the daily newspaper analysis, what we are doing. So in that perspective, we can approach the schemes in the prelims angle. Mains angle, when you read Yojana or Kurukshetra, so entire essay or entire article, you try to convert them into 6 or 7 points or 10 points. The points alone you write in your notebook. So then each topic, the points. Each topic, the point. Write the heading, then you write the points alone. Don't write the entire content. If you write the entire content, then actually you will lose the skill of writing answers in the mains. Mains is all about having a point. You should be able to write it for 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs or 10 paragraphs. You should have the ability. So that you should develop. That will develop only when you have the bullets in your notebook. When you have the entire content, you lose the ability. You'll just stick on to the points what you written. The same thing also. Your individuality will not come out. So read Yojana, you Kurukshetra. Then after reading, just you close your eyes, you try to recollect the point. Okay. So this all article, entire article is about this. This is the premise of the particular article. Then you from that article, you take some 7 points or 10 points. You write in your notebook. So from like that, okay, entire Yojana. For example, one Yojana, you can have some in 2 pages. You should be able to finish the entire Yojana. We are taking the self notes. So it means only the bullets. Kurukshetra, same angle. So when you revise, so periodically do revision. Don't do now and then revision. So do periodic revision once in 2 months. So I'll revise the Yojana. So the points will stay in your mind for long-term memory. Okay, Helen, thank you. Saundarya Kumar, Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. Yes. Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, write the scheme name alone, students. Okay, name alone you write. I think many of you are writing our content. So this content won't be enough, won't be adequate. Okay, this is very incomplete I have given. So you just write this. Then after all the schemes, you do your homework. You just type on Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana for whom, how the scheme is implemented, everything you learn. Because the scheme intention is you have to learn everything, Saundarya Kumar. Then okay, then only you can you'll get the complete idea. Otherwise, based on my notes, if you go means it won't be complete for the examination. So Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, what it is all about, who are the beneficiary, how much amount they are having, entire thing. But now you can copy the thing. You can copy. Then any other doubts? Same Helen. Same Helen. I noticed your doubt. Okay, same. You are counting the same individuals. You're calculating. So you're calculating the total heads. So we are saying, okay, that is only called as there's no difference. You need not confuse. There we use, instead of the poverty, we use that word. Okay, need not be confused. What to study in economic survey? That I told you. So economic survey is like looking at the scorecard of match. For example, or else for example, when you are looking at a scorecard of a match, so what you will do means, from the scorecard, you will take only the significant things. You won't look at the insignificant data. So when you have a scorecard, you look at the significant data. Economic survey, for example, regarding GDP. So you use the economic survey for understanding the trend of GDP, whether the GDP is going higher or it's coming down. Or same angle, when you look at the poverty, okay, so from the economic survey, you try to convert them into statements. So economic survey, so use the numbers to understand the picture of the economy. So do not take the numbers into your mind. So regarding fiscal deficit, regarding inflation, so how the trend is ascending or trend is descending. These things you try to interpret from the economic survey. Then other thing. Yes, India's per capita income will be converted to dollar value based on the PPPS. It will be converted into dollar value based on the PPP for the global test. That's right. 11th NCERT Indian economic development is necessary or not? That you can have a look. Okay, but have a look, because not that much helpful, but you can have a look at the NCERT. But general economics is all about only about the paper reading and about the economic survey, and then paper, and then basic understanding of the class notes. But core economics, you can have a look at the NCERT. For general economics, you can have this, have a look at the economic development. That you can have a look. That's nothing wrong. But even if you are not reading, when you got the good understanding of the paper, if you are mastering the paper, then I think it won't do any harm. Economic survey and then paper. So if you are reading, then definitely it will help you. Thank you, Asha. Thank you. And then other doubts, any pending doubts? Mail ID, okay, I told tomorrow I'll give. If you want now, you can write, okay? Manikandan.sr, all small. Manikandan dot, okay, dot sr at Shankar IAS. Shankar IAS dot in. So two places you have to put dots. Manikandan.sr at shankarias.in. Okay, so the answer to your mail ID doubt. Mains perspective, can we follow the magazine? Yes, Radhakrishnan, you can follow. Jan 2021. No, it won't be adequate. Okay, so you go 3 months back also. So Jan 21, and then you have some 2 months or 3 months extra. Okay, from Jan 2021. 21, I think you can go from December, like the 21 is also okay. 1 year you are saying. So you can go for December also. December. So from this year mains you are telling. Sometimes you can have some 2 more additions also. 2 more issues you refer in extra. Okay, Soundarya Kumar, thank you. Helen, thank you. That's all. Okay, so Saravanan, thank you. Yes, thank you all students. And Nishi, thank you. Any pending doubts? If it is a scheme, what are the areas to focus? Regarding the scheme, you focus on the first one is the objective of the scheme. Okay, what is the objective of the scheme? Number 1. Then you focus on the beneficiaries, whom the scheme is targeting, beneficiaries. Then you focus same beneficiary, you target on the eligibility condition of the scheme. Next one, who is the how the scheme is getting implemented, how the scheme is implemented. Then last one, you learn about the funds. That's all. Who are eligible, eligibility condition, same beneficiary will be same. Next one, objective, then implementation, then funds. Thank you, students. Thank you, Padmini. Other students, only your ID is here, name is not here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's fine. Thank you, students. I think no other pending doubts. Yes, students, I am signing out. Yes, I have a doubt. Yes, you can ask. Akshaya, yes, you can proceed with your doubt. Can we include impact of economic depression like loss of business with situational poverty? Impact of economic depression like loss of business. But actually, situational poverty is completely unforeseen. Here, cyclical things can also be included. Slowdown, economic slowdown, everything. So logically, it can be included. But my viewpoint is, economic depression will not occur all of a sudden. Slowdown will occur all of a sudden. Even slowdown will show some alarming signals. So there will be some slowdown. Slowdown will get aggravated into stagnation. Stagnation may become recession. Recession may become depression. So it is not a thing which is unforeseen. So when the recession occurs itself, people will talk about the things. So the thing is, it is not a completely unpredictable thing or unexpected thing. Depression means the depression would have shown adequate signs in the economy. So it can be called as a cyclical poverty like that. Okay, like cyclical unemployment, we can say it in that way. It's not that much situational, because situational is more temporary. Temporary means suddenly the things will occur in the economy. Purely unexpected, the death of the breadwinner or a flood. But cyclical will show its signs gradually. Will not make a suddenly in a one day cyclical things will not take place in the economy. So to have depression, you should have recession. To have recession, you should have experienced some stagnation. Stagnation would have we expected because of slowdown. Slowdown would have expected because of some dropping profits of the corporates. These things. So it cannot be exactly situational. Okay, it can be called a cyclical. But slowdown can be slowdown unexpectedly, suddenly a slowdown, or the pandemic. These things. Okay, so that's answer to your doubt. Akshaya, Sivapriya, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we can include in cyclical. Cyclical, definitely. You can include Akshaya. Cyclical, you can include. Cyclical, there is no, because cyclical is a poverty. When you call it like that, we can include it. Cyclical and seasonal poverty also. Okay, but situational is we call it based on the unforeseen circumstances. So you can add it in the cyclical. Yes, good. So students, I think no other pending doubts. Yes, okay, Akshaya, thank you. Okay, students, I think I don't have any pending doubts. Is it fine? Any other pending doubts are there? Yes, no pending doubts. Okay, students, I'm signing out. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, students.